May be proud of his work over the past year, but I know the vast majority of people in Washington state and across the country are appalled by his rhetoric and his policies, and they want a change.
Democrat Patty Murray took to the Senate floor yesterday to respond to Trump's State of the Union address and didn't hold back. Murray called Trump's policies crushing for American families, hitting health care, education, and everyday costs. She also argued there is an existential threat. Murray says the Constitution, Americans' rights, and elections are all under attack from this president. She also looked toward the future.
I'm hopeful this next year can be spent bringing Republicans and Democrats together to restore respect and get results, in spite of President Trump's bullying and divisiveness and anti-middle-class agenda.
Her nearly 20-minute speech echoed other national Democrats pushing back against Trump's second term. The investigation continues into the fatal stabbing of 4 people yesterday in Purdy near Gig Harbor and the officer-involved shooting that led to the death of the suspect. Here's more from KIRO Newsradio's James Lynch.
This appears to have been some type of domestic situation in a home on 87th Avenue Court Northwest. The suspect apparently there in violation of a protection order that had not yet been served to him. Then came a call for someone being stabbed. Deputies arrived and shot and killed the suspect. Tacoma PD's Shelby Boyd.
There are 3 victims that were deceased on scene. 1 victim was transported to a local hospital and was pronounced later. And then the suspect was shot by the deputy.
The Pierce County Force Investigation Team is handling the investigation. In Purdy, James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Tacoma police found about 50 shell casings after a shooting in the South End early yesterday morning. A woman inside a home on South D Street was hit by gunfire about 4 o'clock. According to the News Tribune, she was grazed 6 times. Home security video shows 3 people in dark clothing walking up from the street and just opening fire. The woman was rushed to the hospital in critical condition, but she was alert and talking. Several other people were inside the house at the time. A Rainier Beach liquor store clerk is safe after a bullet narrowly missed him during a confrontation with a shoplifter. This happened Monday. Seattle police say the 49-year-old suspect fired a gun after drinking alcohol off the shelves and taking his clothes off. Police arrested the man. They say they recovered drugs and a gun. A possible tuberculosis exposure is being linked to Rainier Beach High School. We get more details from KIRO 7 TV's Elle Thomas.
King County Health says a person associated with the high school was diagnosed with active TB. The disease not easily spread, but 130 people associated with the school are now being evaluated.
A relief for homeowners on Mercer Island who can flush their toilets again. The city found a blockage in an underwater sewage line yesterday morning. It prompted an emergency notification about 11 o'clock to areas around the north end of the island. They were told not to let any water flow down the pipes. Any discharge would fill the limited capacity and risk a backup into neighboring properties. Finally, about 8:30 last night, the announcement came through. Blockage cleared, restrictions lifted, and showers and toilets can go again. Coming soon to the heart of Capitol Hill, McDonald's could be setting up shop right on the corner of Broadway and Olive. The Seattle Times reports a permit application was filed to convert the former Rite Aid into the fast food joint. Neither McDonald's nor the building's owner is commenting. The new Mickey D's would have a direct competitor nearby, Dick's Drive-In, of course, just located right down the street. It's 5:13 and time for a check on your early Wednesday drive. It is Wednesday, isn't it?
Yeah, believe so.
I had to just think about it there for a second. Hi, Sully.
That means we're getting closer to the weekend.
Not that I'm counting, but yeah.
Who's counting the hours, not the days? Looking at the drive now, we're in really good shape. No problems getting out there except for all the left lane campers on southbound I-5 I experienced this morning. You know, when the 2 right lanes and the center lane's wide open, don't be in the left lane. No need to be. Looking at 35 minutes from Everett to Seattle or Everett to Bellevue. 35 minutes from Federal Way to Seattle. 35 as well from Puyallup up to Renton. Renton to Bellevue's under 15. Lake Bridge is still in great shape, and you're not going to tap the brakes really at all from Olympia up through Tacoma. So we are off to a very good start. KIRO News Radio Real-Time Traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
Thank you. We're going to see isolated showers for today. Otherwise, just partly cloudy and 49 our high. For tomorrow and Friday, just a few showers here and there with highs around 50. And then the weekend still looks great. Partly to mostly sunny by Sunday. Highs around 50. Right now in Seattle, it is a little chilly to start the day again. It's only 33 in the city. Coming up, Jake Goldstein Street from the Washington State Standard breaks down the state's supplemental budget proposal. That is next here on Seattle's Morning News.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO Newsradio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This hour of Seattle's Morning News is brought to you by Closets by Design Seattle.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
You know, retirement is supposed to be a time of rest and relaxation. But every week I get calls from seniors who are stressed out because their cost of living keeps going up. They love their home and they want to stay in it, but they're struggling with rising property taxes, monthly bills, and monthly mortgage payments if they have one. Hi, I'm Steve Teitler, owner of Best Mortgage, a local family-owned company. I specialize in the reverse mortgage, which allows seniors to tap into your home equity for tax-free cash to pay off your mortgage, pay off debts, and maybe put some extra money in the bank. A reverse mortgage is a great option for some people, but it's not right for everyone. So give me a call and you'll talk directly to me in person or over the phone for honest advice you can trust. Search for Best Mortgage on the web or call us at 425-649-6000. You'll talk to me, not an AI robot. Best Mortgage, 425-649-6000.
It's cold outside, and if you're noticing it's taking forever to heat your home, there are cold spots in certain rooms, your furnace turns off and on a lot, or it never stops, or maybe your energy bill is just way too high. These are all warning signs that your home needs a blanket. There may be something wrong with your insulation, which means not only are you uncomfortable in your own home, but you could be wasting hundreds or thousands of dollars a year in lost energy. Call Insulation Northwest today, and we'll send one of our professionals to give you a fast, free energy inspection to determine if there is a problem. And if there is a problem, we can fix it fast. Most jobs are completed in one day. You have nothing to lose. The inspection is free and only takes about an hour and could save you thousands. Keep the heat in, the cold out, and your energy bill low. Call Insulation Northwest today. Insulation Northwest, the real insulation company.
Please ask if you qualify for thousands of dollars of free rebates from your energy company.
InsulationNorthwest.com. Hey, it's John Curley with Dr. Kopstein from K2 Vision RLE. Doc, I heard that 50% of Americans have their lenses replaced by the time they're 75.
That's exactly right, John. As we near 50, our eye's natural lens starts to become dysfunctional. If you've now added readers to your need for glasses and contacts, it's a sign the quality and function of your natural lens is fading, and it's a steady decline towards cataracts.
Don't go another 20 plus years with poor vision, hassling with contacts and readers. Do what I did. Choose a quick, painless refractive lens exchange from K2 Vision RLE and start enjoying great vision now.
Our new lens technology is truly amazing. After replacing over 100,000 lenses, we have the experience to guide each patient to their best solution, even if that's recommending you wait a little while before RLE.
K2 Vision RLE can restore distance and near vision permanently, plus never develop a cataract. Read the reviews and schedule a free Zoom consultation now at k2visionrle.com.
This is the city's longest-running radio news show, Seattle's Morning News on KIRO Newsradio.
Great to have you with us. It's been a busy 24 hours down in Olympia. Both the State House and Senate have released their supplemental budgets for the year.
A lot of numbers to consider here, so let's check in with Jake Goldstein straight at the Washington State Standard.
All right, Jake, let's get right to it. We have billions in new spending proposed. Where's that spending going, and what kind of justification are we getting from lawmakers?
Sure, and thanks for having me. This is just to set the table a bit. This is what we call a supplemental budget that we're seeing. This is for the state's operations, the biggest pot of state spending after last year's $77.8 or $9 billion 2-year budget. This is for the remainder of that coming back this year. And we're seeing, both plans coming in the House and Senate, both above $79 billion. And so we're talking about a big pot of that spending is to respond to the federal changes in H.R. 1, also known as the Big Beautiful Bill. Part of that is for IT infrastructure to enforce the new work requirements on Medicaid. There's also trying to kind of fill the gap for cuts to programs for non-citizens. And then there's a lot of cuts in here to try to balance that out with, you see the biggest cut is to the Working Connections child care program, subsidies for low-income families that are working so they can get child care. But the cuts to that program are more on the provider side, changing how they get reimbursed to save hundreds of millions of dollars over the next 4 years. Some variation of that is in both the House and Senate plan. And then the biggest pot of the new spending, to go back to that, is to fill and make a down payment on self-insurance liability, this issue that the state has had skyrocketing payouts in lawsuits for alleged government misconduct, lots of these cases involving the child welfare system, things where the government has done wrong and now has to pay for it. Some of these cases going back even decades. Last year, the state spent over $500 million or around that number on this, and that's, continuing to grow as more and more of these cases come through and the state has more and more liability. And so there's $1 billion to go to that account to sort of try to cover those costs. Lawmakers are also considering some legal tweaks to the process to try to get out ahead of this, reduce some of those payouts, reduce attorneys' fees that can balloon in those cases as they go on for years. And so those are a few of the things lawmakers are considering. And then I think the one thing that might stick out to listeners is that this is a 2-year budget, but they plan out for 4 years. And if you look into the next fiscal year beyond this one, they're still planning on a deficit coming back when they get back to session next January of over $900 million in both the House and Senate. And so that'll be something, this will be a continued conversation around, how do we fill that shortfall, whether it'll be new taxes, the income tax that we've talked about on millionaires. That's something that's kind of looming over all of this, but won't really hit the state until 2029. And that kind of, depends on it still passing the House, which is planned for a vote on Friday. It's getting a hearing right now in a House committee, but also would need to go to the voters and the courts, presumably.
Jake, one of the proposals draws $750 million from the state's rainy day fund. What are the rules on how that money can be used?
Not necessarily. I mean, so the state is tapping the rainy day fund. You're right. Or at least planning to. The governor proposed $880 million. That's what the House is proposing as well. The Senate is going $750 million. They had kind of tweaked that down, it sounds like, after a favorable revenue forecast looking forward that kind of gave some relief to budget writers. And so they'll be looking to use that money to kind of fill the gaps, avoid kind of more cuts to programs that people would really notice on the ground, to sort of stave that off, while still in their mind, these budget writers, Democrats in the House and Senate, remaining to continue to have reserves in the $1 billion after this biennium, this 2-year budget cycle, and in the $2 to $3 billion range after in the next 4 years.
If we can zoom out just a little bit, I've heard critics say a lot of one-time gimmicks are being used in order to fund this budget. Is that what do you hear about that criticism from people you're speaking with in Olympia?
Sure. I think that's a criticism that lawmakers got last year, also transferring between the states' two budgets to try to make things work. I think that's something that lawmakers are continuing to need to have to do to try to make ends meet as they deal with this difficult budget shortfall. And it's kind of the argument they make for why the income tax is needed to put the state on more sustainable footing.
That's Jake Goldstein-Street of the Washington State Standard. He joins us every week during the legislative session. It's 5:23, our forecast. You might see just a few isolated showers, so warming up to 49, otherwise a partly cloudy day. Tomorrow and Friday, a few showers here and there, a high of 50 both days, and then the weekend still looks great. We'll dry out, partly to mostly sunny, into the 50s by Sunday. Right now in Seattle, we have partly cloudy skies. It's 33 degrees. And coming up, G. Scott on what the Seahawks need to look out for at the NFL Combine. That's on the way here on Seattle's Morning News.
If you owe back taxes, listen carefully to rule number 1. Never go up against the IRS alone. They're cracking down, freezing bank accounts, garnishing paychecks, canceling passports. Even your home or business could be at risk. But here's what they don't tell you. The IRS has powerful tax relief programs that could save you thousands thousands if you qualify. That's why smart people call Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax resolution firm. Nobody knows these programs like the experts at Optima. Their team of tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $2 billion in tax debt for people just like you. The IRS is not stopping, so don't wait and don't take them on alone. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, call Optima today for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Have something to say? We'd love to hear it. Text KIRO News Radio at 888-973-KIRO. That's 888-973-5476. Powered by Muckleshoot Casino Resort.
The stock market was on fire in 2025 due to AI and tech stocks. Now is the time to set a strategy for 2026. It's a good opportunity to lock in those gains and invest into a stable platform. With $8 trillion in cash sitting on the sidelines, investors are either scared or unsure where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rurecka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with zero investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
You know, retirement is supposed to be a time of rest and relaxation. But every week I get calls from seniors who are stressed out because their cost of living keeps going up. They love their home and they want to stay in it, but they're struggling with rising property taxes, monthly bills, and monthly mortgage payments if they have one. Hi, I'm Steve Teitler, owner of Best Mortgage, a local family-owned company. I specialize in the reverse mortgage, which allows seniors to tap into your home equity for tax-free cash to pay off your mortgage, pay off debts, and maybe put some extra money in the bank. A reverse mortgage is a great option for some people, but it's not right for everyone. So give me a call and you'll talk directly to me in person or over the phone for honest advice you can trust. Search for Best Mortgage on the web or call us at 425-649-6000. You'll talk to me, not an AI robot. Best Mortgage, 425-649-6000.
The team that gave me back my full head of hair, Advanced Hair, is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. Dr. Perungo and his world-class team begin regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. And Advanced Hair guarantees your new hair will grow, just like they did for me. Find out why Advanced Hair is the best of the best. With your free consultation, you'll receive $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 877 Cars for Kids to speak to a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Go to carsforkids.org now or call 877 Cars for Kids to donate your car today.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
This is Lynn. She's always been active, maybe a little too active back in the day.
When I was 19 years old and immortal, I stripped out all my ligament and I had to have 6 knee surgeries, and that's on my right knee. And then my left knee finally gave out and had a torn meniscus.
Years of pain followed until she saw Dr. Mark Wagner at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy.
I'm 4 months out and I have no pain in my knees, and I have had knee pain my whole life. I have no concept of what it was like without pain. It's miracle. I'm totally thrilled.
No pain, no limits.
Dr. Wagner gave me the green light to ski again this year. I'm like, that's incredible. So I'm just so excited.
After years of surgeries and setbacks, Lynn finally got her freedom back.
I think he saved my legs, so saved my knees, and gave me at least another 10, 15 years to do what I want to do.
If joint pain is holding you back, find out what stem cell therapy could do for you with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD. At Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine, schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
From posters and presentations to labels and loyalty cards, Staples has all the print to boost your brand. Shop now in-store and online. Staples. That was easy.
A new year means more than just a clean calendar. It's new goals, opportunities, and fresh momentum for your business. Are you with the right bank to set you up for success? WaFd Bank has you covered with free business checking, credit cards, lines of credit, and other services to move your business forward. WaFd offers the latest in payment processing and cash flow tools for just the right fit to meet your goals. Plus, WaFd Bank is an SBA preferred lender. WaFd Bank, built for business. Visit wafdbank.com. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Loan subject to credit approval. Non-sufficient funds charges may apply.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. It is 5:30. Well, President Trump said his State of the Union was going to be long because he had so much to say. Well, he kept his word, setting a record 1 hour, 48 minutes. The president claimed the nation's economy is strong, despite polls showing most Americans feel otherwise. CBS News Chief White House correspondent Nancy Cordes says the president at one point put Democrats in a tough bind.
Trump sought to put Democrats in a tight spot on immigration.
If you agree with this statement, then stand up and show your support. The first duty of the American government is to protect American citizens, not illegal aliens. And you should be ashamed of yourself not standing up.
His move prompted shouting from a small group of Democrats.
Well, Senator Patty Murray says the state of our union is diminished under President Trump. Washington's senior Democrat delivered a blistering response to Trump's State of the Union.
President Trump can try to take credit for the economy he inherited, and he could try to convince people that every problem in America is someone else's fault. But 1 year into his administration, it is very clear that our country is more divided, more chaotic, and less safe.
During her 20-minute speech, Murray argued Trump's policies are crushing families when it comes to health care, education, and just affording everyday necessities. There is new information in the fatal stabbings of 4 people and an officer-involved shooting in the town of Purdy on the Key Peninsula. We get the details from KIRO News Radio's James Lynch.
We now know the 3 people who died in the home on 87th Avenue Court Northwest in Purdy and a 4th that died at the hospital were all adults, although we don't know their genders. Police were called here for the suspect violating a protection order. Then came a call for someone being stabbed. Pierce County deputies arrived and, in a confrontation, shot and killed the suspect. Tacoma Police spokesman Shelby Boyd.
PC Fit will go through and they'll do their full investigation. Obviously Pierce County has their own internal process.
PC Fit is the independent force investigation team that investigates officer-involved shootings. In Purdy, James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
A $100 million state public safety fund and no officers hired. Here's KIRO News Radio's Jillian Raftery.
It's a program championed by Governor Bob Ferguson last year, designed to help Washington get out of last place for police staffing per capita. But according to the Washington State Standard, just 6 departments have applied for those grants. Part of the issue is that these are one-time funds. Cities don't want to hire an officer and run out of money. There are also a lot of requirements that come with that funding. Cities have to establish a new tax to fund public safety, follow certain state policies and training on crisis intervention and de-escalation, and collect use of force data. The first of several application rounds closes in March. Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
Amazon is leaving another Seattle building. The Puget Sound Business Journal reports the company will not renew its lease at a 251,000 square foot building near its Denny Triangle headquarters. Amazon confirmed the move yesterday, the latest sign of Amazon shrinking its Seattle footprint while expanding on the east side. Time for a check on traffic now, and for that we rely on Chris Sullivan.
And we are seeing a couple more customers out there across the board, but still mostly green across the board. Where we're not seeing that is a little bit of braking northbound 167 as you pull away from the Auburn interchange. Overall, still about a 35-minute trip to get you up into Renton. There is some braking approaching Renton as well. And then Renton to Bellevue's nice and easy, 15 minutes or less. Another spot where we're seeing some slowing is right there through the Kent Des Moines Road interchange on northbound I-5, but still 35 minutes minutes to make it from Federal Way to Seattle, no problems. And behind that, Olympia to Tacoma is nice and easy. Coming down from the north end, a little slowing right around the Boeing Freeway. Not surprising as we get closer to getting on clock at 6 a.m. Coming down from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue, we've got about a 35-minute trip for you guys. Lake bridges are still in very good shape. KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
Not a bad day weather-wise, just partly cloudy with isolated showers. 49 the high for today. Overnight low around 40. Tomorrow and Friday, look for just a few showers, nothing major. High around 50 both days. And then the weekend still looks great. Will be mostly sunny by Sunday with highs into the low 50s. Right now in Seattle, partly cloudy and 33.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO Newsradio App. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio Northwest News. Seattle's morning news. Hear it live, stream it online, watch the show, or catch the podcast anytime on mynorthwest.com.
Look who it is, Manda.
Who?
G. Scott from the G and Ursula show, who did not get excused. He did not get kicked out after yesterday's show. He wants you to know that.
You were supposed to take over my duty.
Well, I think that's really Amanda sort of thing. I only kick you out, G, when she texts me and tells you.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. By the way, Mariners.
That is really cool.
That is a great sweater.
Yeah.
I am so... DB, you love that. I'm so excited about Mariner baseball.
Me too.
I mean,
I love a G that's excited for the Mariners. Yeah.
Like, I cannot wait. I'd be texting, like, so, I was like, man.
Here we go.
What's
we
up?
have the Seahawks.
Yeah.
It's just won the Super Bowl, and already the NFL Combine's coming up.
Yeah.
What are you looking out for?
Well, it's one of those things where I think that we get the NFL Combine. The one thing that everybody looks forward to is the 40-yard dash and how much they can bench press, and seeing them in them tight clothes all over the place, the spandex and then sometimes you're like, good Lord, he got a big booty. You know what I mean? You look at those things. And then the best part is you go to social media and old Biff, the guy's like, oh, I can tell you right now, that guy runs a good 40 and he does the bench press. He's going to be really good. What? The Seahawks are going to do what they do. Now, here's the pressure. They only have 4 picks right now. As of right now, they only have 4 picks in the NFL draft. So when they're at the combine, they got to make sure they do their due diligence. But the one thing that I do know is John Schneider has a particular fit that he's looking for. So there's going to be people that's going to come out of the combine, and you guys are going to have me come on your show, and you're going to say, hey, G, who are the Seahawks looking at? And here's what's going to happen. I'm going to make up all this stuff as if, they're looking for this guy, and how about this guy from Ohio State and this guy from Georgia? I don't know anything. So the time that I get ready to tell you what they're going to be doing, I don't know anything. I'm just making stuff up. As a matter of fact, let me just tell you, everybody else that you hear, all of the air quotes experts, they're making it up too. They know as much as you know, listening right now. The fan, they know that much. The Seahawks keep everything close to the vest. Now, as they only have 4 picks and they're at the combine, I would say the biggest thing that they are looking for is they want to continue building in the trenches, the defensive line and the offensive line. Because when those 2 things are magic, it's like thinking about a house, right? When you build a house, do you build the kitchen first? No, you build the foundation, right? And that's what the Seahawks have to pay attention to.
G. Scott of the G and Ursula Show with us here on Seattle's Morning News. National headlines on the way. You are listening to KIRO News Radio.
The John Curley Show.
When people sit there and they see people with the American flag and they're utterly disgusted because they associate the flag and USA with Donald Trump, don't do that. You're doing yourself an amazing disservice.
Weekdays 3 to 7.
You could dislike Donald Trump, but you can still love America. It's like discounting Photograph from Nickelback, which is actually a pretty good song. Think of the fact that you love this country, and what you love about it is it's inclusive. Good. Include others.
Watch The John Curley Show live on YouTube.
It's clogged again.
Your drain?
Just had it cleared.
You didn't call Apollo Plumbing.
How can you tell?
Because your drain's clogged again.
So frustrating.
We can clear that drain.
That's what the last guy said.
We'll clear it, guaranteed.
He said that too.
Apollo Plumbing will clear your drain, or it's free.
Wait, what?
Apollo Plumbing clears your drain.
Or it's free?
Yep.
What's the catch?
No catch.
Fine print?
Apollo Plumbing clears your main drain for $83.
$83, or it's free?
And we'll even give you a camera inspection.
Because?
It's the best way to find what's causing your clog.
But that's extra.
Nope. Included.
No extra charge?
Not 1 cent.
$83, or it's free.
All it takes is an accessible outside cleanout.
And an Apollo plumber.
No clog is safe from Apollo Plumbing.
And just like that, my main drain is...
Draining again.
How can you...
Apollo plumbers are that good.
$83, or it's free.
You call, we come.
My drain's draining again.
Guaranteed.
$83, or it's free.
As it should be.
Apollo Plumbing.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. Gordon Christensen, and if you're a dentist as I am, or you know a dentist, please take a moment to listen. When I became a dentist, I learned how quickly poor oral health can lead to other serious health problems. And for people without access to care, these problems can spiral very quickly. I wanted to help, but I wasn't sure how I could until I joined Dental Lifeline Network. It's a nonprofit that has helped us literally change the lives of people in our communities. DLN asks dentists to volunteer to see just one of the many patients in need in your area. It's very simple. DLN screens those in need and coordinates an initial appointment that takes place in the comfort of the dentist's own office and on their schedule. Right now, there's a wait list for patients in need in your community. I'm asking fellow dentists who will join me in seeing one patient per year.
Learn more about Dental Lifeline Network at willyouseeone.org. That's willyouseeone.org.
Do you need glasses or contacts and you're now at the age where you also need readers? K2 Vision RLE is the permanent solution to eliminate the need for all those. Hey, it's Doctors King and Kopstein from K2 Vision. Andy, for those nearing age 50 or so, refractive lens exchange can be a great alternative to LASIK.
That's right, Joe. K2 Vision RLE is a terrific permanent solution for a lifetime of great vision. The older we get, we experience the dysfunction of our natural lens, which affects both distance vision and requires the use of reading glasses. Plus, after K2 Vision RLE, you will never develop a cataract.
And like LASIK, K2 Vision RLE is quick and painless. The question is, which procedure is right for you?
With the experience of over 150,000 procedures, the doctors at K2 Vision will know which procedure is best for you. Schedule your free Zoom consultation today at k2visionrle.com. K2 Vision RLE. No readers, glasses, contacts, or cataracts.
Well, this week's First Mark Challenge victory goes to Norm. Norm, why did you call First Mark Insurance?
Spending too much money on insurance, and it just kept on going up higher and higher and higher. And this last time I did the First Mark Challenge.
So they were able to save you some money, Norm?
Oh, yeah, at least $2,000 a year.
What?
At least.
Wow. You ever feel like, man, I wish I would have taken that First Mark Challenge earlier?
Yes. I mean, $2,000 I could have saved a year, over probably 4 or 5 years. Wow.
How would you describe their customer service?
Fantastic. Beyond expectation. Call First Mark. They treat you like a real person, that they have your best interest in mind.
Norm did it. My family did it. You got to do it. And it's totally free. Go take the First Mark Challenge. See how much money they can save you like they did Norm, and how much better your coverage will get to. Maybe you will be our next First Mark Challenge victory I get to talk to. Just go to firstmarkinsurance.com. First Mark Insurance. They work for you.
CBS News Brief. In a record-breaking 1 hour and 48-minute State of the Union address, President Trump boasted about the economy and insisted many countries and businesses want to keep his tariffs in place.
They will continue to work along the same successful path that we had negotiated before the Supreme Court's unfortunate involvement.
Just 4 justices attended after the court ruled against his tariffs last week. Virginia Governor Abigail Spanberger took on ICE operations in the Democratic rebuttal.
Our broken immigration system is something to be fixed, not an excuse for unaccountable agents to terrorize our communities.
Lawmakers in the House have defeated an air safety bill by just 1 vote after the Pentagon objected. CBS's Chris Van Cleve.
Would have required most aircraft to have the ability to send and receive really detailed location data about other aircraft.
CBS News Brief. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
Our forecast, we're going to see a partly cloudy day, just isolated showers and 49, nothing too threatening. Overnight low around 40. Tomorrow and Friday, scattered showers, but some sun breaks too, and highs around 50. The weekend still looks great. Partly cloudy on Saturday, but mostly sunny by Sunday with highs into the low 50s. Right now in Seattle, we have partly cloudy skies. It's 33 degrees. And coming up, Chris Sullivan has a choke point. He's all riled up about the transportation budget. Hear what he has to say coming up on Seattle's Morning News.
Are you 50 or older? This news is for you. The CDC recommends you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at risk. People 50 or older are over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults 18 to 49. Just one shot can help protect you. Learn more and schedule at vaxassist.com. That's VAXassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Hi, Flo here from Progressive. You know, life changes quickly, so it's good to have flexible coverage.
Oh, you mean like adding another vehicle?
Yes, that's something we can do.
Great, because I was thinking about getting a van so we could just keep the kids' softball stuff in the car.
Oh, we don't need to get into specifics. Just saying it's easy to change.
Oh, and Hannah wants to try the tuba.
Again, we don't need the specifics.
Last year, she wanted to be a tap dancer, but that only lasted 2 lessons.
Okay.
But she kept the shoes because they are adorable.
Well, just know that with Progressive, you can easily add another car to your auto insurance because we know life changes.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Hey, it's Jake Skorheim. March is the start of spring, as we all know, and my outdoor to-do list is already growing. Fortunately, Valentine Roofing has my back and yours when it comes to checking off those honey-do list jobs. And with Valentine's huge March promotion, they're not only going to take care of you this year, they have you covered for next year, too. This month only, you can get a free year of roof maintenance when you purchase a new roof. Then you can enjoy seasonal checkups and professional care to keep your new roof looking its best. Plus, they have flexible financing with payments as low as $159 a month. And the Valentine experience, as we all know, seamless communication, meticulous cleanup, and extra mile service. So it's no surprise that Valentine Roofing was voted 2025 Gold Best Roofing Company in the Seattle Times Best in the Pacific Northwest Awards. To take advantage of Valentine's free year of roof maintenance when you purchase a new roof, call 206 Roofing. That's 206 Roofing. And remember, when you see the red Valentine van, you know your home is in good hands.
I'm their conduit, and I'm glad to do it.
Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's Morning News.
Hey, oh, let's go.
Now, Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
Presented by Carter Subaru.
The supplemental transportation budgets had dropped with fewer than 3 weeks left in the legislative session.
They're far smaller than what Governor Ferguson proposed, and nothing gets Sully riled up like a good old transportation budget.
Oh, yeah, nothing. I mean, who doesn't live on the edge? Loving this stuff. Well, most people. But it is your dollars and cents that's important. Governor Ferguson wants to add up to $3 billion to the transportation budget passed last year. Both the House and Senate are looking to add less than half of that. Those budgets dropped yesterday. The supplemental House budget would add $1.25 billion. The Senate plan would add about $1.5 billion. The focus of all three budgets, maintenance and preservation. And it's no wonder why. Let's consider the Fairfax Bridge has been closed for a year after decades of underfunding on its maintenance. The First Avenue South Bridge now down to just 2 lanes because of potential corrosion in the steel bridge deck. Senate Transportation Committee Chair Marco Lias.
We are focused both on preservation maintenance of our state highways and our state bridges. We are also focused on preservation and maintenance of our state ferries. And then we're also focused on dealing with the unprecedented damage caused by the flood event last fall, both at the state and local level.
To do that, the Senate transportation budget would be funded by issuing new bonds, a new bonding authority. They'd be using the gas tax revenue as collateral.
How do we pay for it? No new taxes this year, but we are leveraging the increases we passed last year with a bond proposal, $1.1 billion to unlock the preservation investments we would like to make across the next 6 years.
Some of the things that are added into this budget, which are kind of interesting, fully funding the Washington State Patrol, something that ranking member Senator Curtis King happy about.
I've been here 18 years, and the State Patrol has never
been anywhere close to the level they need to be at. And we can see the results of that on our highway and the safety of our highways. And so I think this is something that we really have to put an emphasis on and make sure that we achieve that goal.
The budget also throws a lifeline to the communities around that closed Fairfax Bridge.
We do fund over 3 biennia the Fairfax Bridge, as long as with providing them some money for their routes, alternate routes, and for their emergency support.
The budget also fully funds the first 3 electric hybrid ferries and a plan to create a new mobile driver's license program.
So that in 2028, Washingtonians on their iPhone or on their other smartphone, Samsung, Google, could opt into a secure, encrypted mobile driver's license that they could use at the airport or other destinations that they're headed to.
Now, while the House and Senate have similar budget proposals, they have different ways to pay for it. The House does not pay for its increases by bonding against the gas tax. It uses existing bonding authority. House Transportation Committee Chair Jake Fye does not like the idea of tying bonds to the gas tax. That's something he told me at the start of the session.
They'll have a high bar to convince me is we did fuel taxes. If we bond against them, then we reduced what we have available in future years.
The governor's supplemental transportation budget also relies on that new bonding authority against the gas tax. So the disagreement on how to fund these budgets is now where the debate sounds like it's going to be. It sounds like they have the similar ideas, just different ways of how to pay for it. How they're going to reconcile that, it sounds the House is against new bonding authority. The Senate and the governor like new bonding authority.
Okay, I am a simple man from Auburn. I graduated high school, let's be real, but I also went to community college for a little while. So these ways of the state legislature, they confuse me. Help me understand.
I understand. Well, I'll try my best. I'm no expert either.
What does bonding mean?
Basically, they go out and they, like, if we were to go out and take a loan for our house and you put up your ability to have your job and your ability to pay that back is backed by, you having a job or you having good credit or the ability to pay that back. So when they go out and they sell bonds in the bond market, and the people who buy those bonds are relying on the state to pay that back. And in this case, they're tying that funding mechanism to gas tax revenue as opposed to general fund money, tax collection that just comes in. So this would be tying these new bonds to saying, well, our collateral is the gas tax revenue. And what Jake is saying, Representative Fye, is we all know the gas tax is getting less and less. We're getting less and less from it. So he sees in the future, if we do this, our return and the ability to pay back maybe not as great as that. But it ties our ability to pay the money back to the gas tax, not general fund tax revenues, which we all know seem to be going up and up. So that's kind of what it means, is our ability to pay back the loans so that we sell those bonds, we get the money to do these things, and then the guarantee to the people who buy those bonds is our gas tax revenue.
Look at that, conduit and teacher.
Indeed.
I do have a business minor, by the way, just FYI.
Help me understand this, too.
Oh, no.
We have talked about this ever since I've been doing Seattle's Morning News. You've hammered, we are not paying for basic maintenance. Is this the bill that pays for basic maintenance when we get all up to speed and we don't have crumbling infrastructure?
No.
Oh.
What it does is at least puts that as a priority because it's going to be hard to make up for 30 years of not doing what they should have done. Example, your house, a humble man from Auburn, my house in Snohomish County, you've probably done maintenance. I don't do a lot of maintenance, and that's the reason my fence looks like that and why I need to paint the house and maybe do some arboring work. I haven't done my maintenance. It's going to be hard to make up for that, right? Because I'm going to have to pay for a fence and a roof and all those things like right now, or they fail. It's going to be hard to make up that money. Right now, it's about $1 billion they want in this the supplemental budget to go toward that to kind of fill the hole. It's going to be a long time to be able to fill that back up. And let's face it, this is on top of a $16 billion transportation package they passed last year. And they're already looking to add more. But at least their focus now, instead of, other priorities and other things, they're now looking at, oh my gosh, all these things are failing. Perhaps we should give some money to that. So hopefully it gets their attention in the right place.
I appreciate you and the fact that you are the one who sorts this stuff out.
Yeah, well, it's important to understand how we got here.
Yeah.
And it's going to take, it's going to take the money to get us out. But the thing is the money can be there. It's been a priority issue and a prioritization issue in the legislature for the last 3 decades.
You can find all of Sully's choke points at mynorthwest.com. Our forecast for your Wednesday, just isolated showers, otherwise a partly cloudy day, not bad. Headed for a high of 49 today. Tomorrow and Friday look the same, just a few showers and highs around 50. For the weekend, looks great. Partly cloudy Saturday, 48, and mostly sunny on Sunday with a high of 51. Right now, it is partly cloudy and 33 in Seattle. And coming up in the next hour, more of your day's local headlines. Plus, we're going to break down the longest State of the Union address in modern history with News Nation's Anna Brandt. That's coming up here on Seattle's Morning News.
KIRO Newsradio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
Seattle's new mayor is laying out a big vision.
She offered few specifics.
Engaging conversation.
Has anybody noticed their electric bill? It's diabolical, Ursula.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
They are bringing the Lombardi back to the Northwest.
Streaming everywhere on the KIRO Newsradio app. Always here, always with you. KIRO Newsradio, 97.3 FM. KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle.
Nick, did you know this is called quit time? Did you know what that is?
I do not know.
That means right about this time of the year, people quit their New Year's resolutions.
Oh, kind of like last year.
Okay, never mind. The important thing is that both of us made a New Year's resolution that we would take better care of ourselves for each other. And we're holding to that.
We are not flaming out because...
Longevity Medical Clinic. So we get the support of Longevity. We told them what our goals were, and they're like, absolutely, we'll get you in line. So they support me, they support you, and then as a couple, they're making us accountable for the decisions we make. So we're not going to be quitting on these things. I can't remember what your New Year's resolution was around the house.
My New Year's resolution around the house was that I was going to try to get you to start putting things away.
And I was going to get you to actually learn how to cook a piece of chicken.
Oh, well, that's for next year.
Okay, fine. Either way, we've got a team behind us. Do what Nick and I have done. Take a free health analysis at lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
You know, retirement is supposed to be a time of rest and relaxation. But every week I get calls from seniors who are stressed out because their cost of living keeps going up. They love their home and they want to stay in it, but they're struggling with rising property taxes, monthly bills, and monthly mortgage payments if they have one. Hi, I'm Steve Teitler, owner of Best Mortgage, a local family-owned company. I specialize in the reverse mortgage, which allows seniors to tap into your home equity for tax-free cash to pay off your mortgage, pay off debts, and maybe put some extra money in the bank. A reverse mortgage is a great option for some people, but it's not right for everyone. So give me a call and you'll talk directly to me in person or over the phone for honest advice you can trust. Search for Best Mortgage on the web or call us at 425-649-6000. You'll talk to me, not an AI robot. Best Mortgage, 425-649-6000.
This week's First Mark Challenge victory goes to my friend Brock Heward. Brock, why did you call First Mark?
Brandy, it is so good to talk to you. It's been too long, and we made that call. And the only bummer is we waited too long. I know you hear from people that you talk to as well as I do to take the First Mark Insurance Challenge. I just wish we would have done it earlier. You know, Brandy, the word that comes to my mind is a word I use on my sports show a lot, and that is connective tissue. It's important in team building. It's important to players in a locker room to be connected to others. And when it comes to insurance, it's so complicated. It's stressful, and you just don't even want to deal with it. And that's where the connective tissue of having a pro, having a broker, having a partner, and most of all, having a teammate like First Mark Insurance was the best connective tissue we could find.
Brock did it. My family did it. You got to do it. It's free. Take the First Mark Challenge. See how much they can save you and how much better your coverage will get. Maybe you will be our next First Mark Challenge victory. Go to firstmarkinsurance.com.
Your local volunteer fire department routinely answers the call, whether it be a fire, traffic accident, or a cat stuck in a tree. But because of declines in memberships, departments have become understaffed. Your local volunteer fire department desperately needs you. Can you direct traffic, install a smoke alarm, help at a fundraiser? No matter what skills you have, you can make a difference. You don't have to fight fire to be a volunteer. Will you answer the call? For more information on how you can help, visit the Volunteer Firefighter Alliance at supportvfa.org.
The team that gave me back my full head of hair, Advanced Hair, is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. Dr. Perongo and his world-class team begin regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. And Advanced Hair guarantees your new hair will grow, just like they did for me. Find out why Advanced Hair is the best of the best. With your free consultation, you'll receive $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has been the one locals trust for fast, friendly service with guaranteed repairs. With 16 family-owned locations and a Carfax preferred badge, Bucky's makes it easy with same-day service and available financing. Visit buckys.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Pfizer.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. For almost 2 hours last night, President Trump boasted about his accomplishments during his first year back in office.
Our country is winning again. In fact, we're winning so much that we really don't know what to do about it.
He blamed Democrats for soaring costs.
Their policies created the high prices. Our policies are rapidly ending them. We are doing really well.
The president called out Iran amid his looming threats of U.S. strikes.
They want to make a deal, but we haven't heard those secret words. We will never have a nuclear weapon.
This morning, Iran called Mr. Trump's remarks big lies. More from correspondent Charlie D'Agata in Washington.
President Trump doubled down on his threats to Iran, saying he wouldn't allow the country he called the world's biggest sponsor of terrorism to have a nuclear weapon. In fact, accusing Iran of developing missiles to reach the United States, a claim we can't verify. What is clear is the U.S. military buildup shows no sign of slowing down.
25 days after she was kidnapped from her home in Tucson, there's still no sign of Nancy Guthrie. Yesterday, her daughter, Today Show's Savannah Guthrie, posted a new video promising as much as $1 million for information that leads to her 84-year-old mother. A private lab is still analyzing DNA. CBS's Jonathan Vigliotti.
The sheriff telling me he is hopeful that DNA will lead to a name. Meanwhile, sources telling me the FBI has received hundreds of new tips following that video.
A woman is facing federal charges for allegedly driving an ambulance into a building near Boise, Idaho, that houses Department of Homeland Security offices.
Police say 43-year-old Sarah George stole the ambulance from a hospital in Meridian, Idaho last week, loaded at least 2 gasoline jugs into it that were hidden in bushes nearby, and headed for the building. They say after she plowed into the lobby, she poured gasoline onto the floor, but was apparently scared off before she could ignite it. George was arrested Monday and arraigned yesterday. She pleaded not guilty. Christopher Cruz, CBS News.
The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame has just announced nominees for its class of 2026. New addition, Shakira, Pink, Melissa Etheridge, and Lauryn Hill are among 10 first-timers. It's Phil Collins' first nomination, too. Oasis, Billy Idol, Iron Maiden, Mariah Carey, some of the other names. New members will be announced in April. This is CBS News.
You still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Sponsored by Pfizer.
6:03 Wednesday morning. Let's check in with Sully for traffic.
And we're right where we should be, Charlie, as we start the day, breaking in the usual places, especially for those of you on southbound I-5. Trying to make your way down through the Northgate area. We have about just a minimal delay through the area, but about 40 minutes from Everett into Seattle. 35 from Everett into the Bellevue area. Also seeing some brake lights on southbound I-5 as you make your way into Marysville. Looks like we do have a crash there. A pretty sizable backup there, actually, now that I get my eyes on it. We're backed up all the way from 88 now down through Marysville. Plan on about a 35-minute trip from Arlington down into Everett. I'll have more for you on that here in 10 minutes. The rest of the map, as I said, Federal Way to Seattle, about 40 minutes, probably closer to 35, but pad a little bit depending on what you might hit. Valley Freeway's about 40. Rented to Bellevue, some brake lights in the S-curves, but really manageable. We've got about an 18-minute trip for you. The lake bridges are quiet. This report brought to you by Wilcox Family Farms. Fresh food comes from local farms for healthier eggs with 3 times the omega-3s. Choose Wilcox omega-3 eggs at Costco, locally fresh since 1909.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Good morning. It's 6:04. 5 people are dead in the quiet, close-knit community of Purdy on the Key Peninsula after a violent domestic dispute.
KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey is here with more on the details that are unfolding this morning.
Yeah, police say this started with a series of 911 calls yesterday morning. Here's Tacoma Police spokesperson Shelby Boyd.
The initial call came out at 8:41 this morning, stating that there was a violation of an order. At 9:30, additional information came in about stabbing taking place. And at 9:33 is when shots fired was called out by the deputy.
Boyd says when Pierce County deputies got there to the scene, one deputy ended up shooting and killing the suspect. Then they found the bodies of the 4 victims. Police say they had all been stabbed.
There are 3 victims that were deceased on scene. 1 victim was transported to a local hospital and was pronounced later. And then the suspect was shot by the deputy.
Now, the Seattle Times reports a 52-year-old woman and her 32-year-old son are listed as residents at the home where all this happened. Investigators will not confirm, however, the son is the same 32-year-old who was the suspect. According to the Times, the son had a mental health disorder, and the mother struggled with his health issues and delusions that he was having. She said in a protection order, apparently her son once pushed her and said, quote, her grave had already been dug. The deputy who shot the suspect is on administrative leave, which is standard in this case. But what a scene there unfolding, and the investigation continues in Purdy.
What a tragedy. Thank you, Luke. 6:06 now. Senator Patty Murray says the state of our union is diminished under President Trump.
Washington's senior Democrat delivered a blistering response yesterday to Trump's State of the Union.
President Trump can try to take credit for the economy he inherited, and he could try to convince people that every problem in America is someone else's fault. But 1 year into his administration, it is very clear that our country is more divided, more chaotic, and less safe.
Murray argued Trump's policies are crushing families when it comes to health care, education, and just affording everyday necessities. She went further, warning the Constitution itself is under attack from this president.
Meantime, Eastern Washington Congressman Michael Baumgartner is praising the State of the Union address. The Spokane Republican says the nation is safer and more prosperous than it's been in generations.
I think you really delivered a message of how great our nation is and that America can meet any challenge.
Baumgartner pointed to lower violent crime rates and a more secure southern border.
Keeping you informed since 1974. This is the city's longest-running radio news show.
Seattle's Morning News on KIRO News Radio.
Well, thanks for being here with us on Wednesday, February 25th. I tried to stay up for most of the speech last night, Manda.
I was just going to ask, an hour and 48 minutes.
Yeah. And for us morning news anchors, that is so late at night. I'm normally in bed at 6:30, so that's just when it was getting underway.
I fell asleep on the couch.
I watched about an hour of it.
Yeah.
I think I caught the gist.
Yep.
Well, that is where we are with this show. We are Seattle's Morning News, sponsored by American Crawl Space and Pest Control.
Glad to have you with us. In case you didn't watch the almost 2-hour-long speech, we're going to break down the big topics covered in the State of the Union with News Nation correspondent Hannah Brandt.
And what should we expect from nuclear negotiations between the United States and Iran? We're going to hear from CBS military analyst Jed McCausland.
It's now 6:08. Lauren Culp, the former Republican candidate for Washington governor, now a Klickitat County deputy, is recovering after breaking his back during an arson arrest in Lyle. Deputies say 35-year-old Kiva Dobson tried to flee and fought with officers before being taken into custody. Dobson's now out on bail, facing arson and burglary charges.
A woman escaped with her life after an argument with a partner escalated dangerously yesterday. Brooke Pinkston is a public information officer for Renton Police.
The argument turned physical, where he pointed a gun at her, and during the assault, She stabbed him in the leg, so that's how he got that injury.
The woman ran out. The man barricaded himself inside. SWAT and King County Sheriff's deputies got called in to help. They got a search warrant to get inside and arrested the man.
A woman is in critical condition after a shooting in Tacoma's South End early yesterday morning. The News Tribune reports it happened about 4 o'clock on South D Street. Police found more than 50 shell casings in the road. The woman was inside a home with several other people in it when she was hit. A Ring camera captured video of 3 people in dark clothes approaching from the street. Each one appeared to fire shots for about 2 seconds. Police say the woman was alert and talking, but considered critical because she had more than one wound.
Gunfire inside a Seattle liquor store Monday.
Seattle police arrested a half-naked man after they say he opened liquor bottles and started drinking from them without paying. Then they say he started taking off his clothes, his shirt, his shoes, his pants. Officers rushed to the store along Rainier Avenue South around 5 p.m. Monday. The 49-year-old man was still in the store. No one got hurt, although a bullet narrowly missed the clerk. Police recovered the gun and booked the man for felony assault. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
A 46-year-old Edmonds man charged with child rape in King County pleaded not guilty yesterday. Prosecutors say Roberto Rodriguez, a school paraeducator for deaf students, allegedly sexually abused a girl for years, starting when she was 10. He was working as her private tutor. This is part of what the judge had to say.
Every now and then, when I think I've seen everything, there's always a case that comes along that shocks me.
Bail was set at $750,000, which he has already posted. Trial is set for March 23rd.
Washington State set aside $100 million to hire more police, but that money still hasn't reached a single city or county. The Washington State Standard reports local leaders are frustrated with the slow rollout of Governor Ferguson's grant program. Washington State ranks dead last in the nation for police staffing per capita. The grants are supposed to help that, but so far, only 6 police departments have even applied. The first round of applications is open through the end of next month. The Criminal Justice Training Commission says it expects to decide on awards within weeks of that deadline.
Amazon is leaving yet another Seattle building. Here's KIRO News Radio's Jillian Raftery.
It's a 251,000 square foot building on Terry Avenue, right near the Denny Triangle headquarters. Amazon confirmed the move on Tuesday to the Puget Sound Business Journal. The company wouldn't say how many workers were affected, but that those employees will relocate to other offices by May. It's the latest sign of Amazon shrinking its Seattle footprint while expanding on the east side. Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
A bill establishing Washington's first regulations on automated license plate readers passed out of committee yesterday. The measure would require agencies to delete most license plate data within 21 days. This is State Representative Osman Sulahadeen.
It's really important to implement robust guardrails to ensure that Washington doesn't become a surveillance state or risk data sharing to those that could misuse the data.
Some committee voters voted no, saying things like traffic safety, parking, and red light cameras need to be exempt. The Senate already passed a bill with bipartisan support.
It's now 6:12, and that's time for a check on the weather. For that, we turn to KIRO 7 TV's Nick Allard. Good morning, Nick.
Good morning. It's an interesting setup where this morning we have a little bit of fog and some clearing in the South Sound and cold temperatures there where you're sort of in the low 30s. But then if you go farther north, you have some clouds and you have some pockets with some light rain. Now, most of that rain is going to be places like, say, Everett, Arlington, east and north throughout the day. There really won't be a lot, but just a couple of showers possible, say like Port Angeles and Forks. And it's all I really expect, just a few light showers. South of there, we are going to be dry, absolutely, and we'll just see some fog early on. In fact, it's gorgeous out there for Seattle and Tacoma where you have some clearing, and because of a little bit of wind, Tacoma hasn't had any fog. Most of it's like Bremerton, Shelton, and Olympia. All right, so a little fog early. That clears by mid-morning. Just a few showers, mainly around and north of Everett. The rest of the area, we look dry with at least partly cloudy skies and highs in the upper 40s and lower 50s, and it really is a near repeat tomorrow and Friday. Just a little bit of wind at times, kind of blustery today, kind of blustery tomorrow. Not really seeing much rain. All of the moisture is going to be focused over the North Cascades, so that means Stevens and Baker getting the brunt of it. Over the next couple of days, Stevens may pick up 3 to 6 inches of snow, and Baker probably gets a foot. And then we're seeing sunshine this weekend, and through Tuesday, we're in the upper 40s, and even by Monday, Tuesday, mid-50s before the rain returns by Wednesday. So enjoy the sun.
We'll take it, Nick. Thank you. Right now in Seattle, it's 33 degrees.
Was that Sully cheering in the background?
I think so.
No, I don't know what you're talking about. I was preparing for a traffic report.
Of course you were. It's 6:13 for traffic on the threes. Here's Chris Sullivan.
And we've got a 4-mile backup on southbound I-5 trying to work your way down through Marysville. Crash right there at the 529 interchange. They're blocking the far right lane, and we have about a 40-minute trip now from Arlington into Everett. That is a 25-minute delay as we continue to work with this. So this might be with us for just a little bit. Then you get down to over to I-5, the further south, and it's really not that bad until you get down to about 145th, and then we also see the slowing on 405 away from Linwood. You need about 43 minutes now from Everett to Seattle or Everett to Bellevue. Northbound 167, a lot more braking in the Auburn area. We're going to see about 42 minutes to get you up into Renton, and then Renton to Bellevue is not too bad. The S-curves haven't really kind of activated yet. We're looking at about 18 minutes to get you up to Bellevue. Federal Way to Seattle, about 40 with some off and on slowing up through the Kent-Des Moines Road and into South Center. After that, a pretty good drive. Olympia to Tacoma, no problem. KIRO Newsradio Real-Time Traffic, I'm Chris Sullivan.
Seattle's morning news. Always live, always connected. Stream, watch, subscribe, and share at mynorthwest.com.
It is 6:15. Good morning to you. Thanks for being with us. 1 hour and 48 minutes, the longest State of the Union address ever.
President Trump's speech ranged from the economy to foreign policy and immigration, highlighting his administration's victories in the past year. Let's break it all down now with News Nation's Hannah Brandt. Good morning, Hannah. Why don't we just start with your initial takeaways from this address?
Good morning. Yeah, like you said, the longest State of the Union ever, right? And maybe, that wasn't surprising. The president gave us a warning. He said it's going to be long. We've got a lot to talk about. I really think, sort of as expected, a large portion of the speech was economy focused. That was my big takeaway. We know Republicans have really been trying to focus in on a message of affordability, on a message of the economy is getting stronger. And that's certainly the case we heard President Trump make last night. Now, whether that'll be sort of a successful message, a message that resonates with Americans, remains to be seen, because polling at this moment really shows most Americans just aren't feeling good about where the U.S. is economically. They are feeling the pressures of high prices. Now, the president did say, look, the economy is strong in my view, but he also talked about policies that he wants to see happen to sort of bring costs down even further. He talked about things like his Trump RX website to try and bring prescription drug prices down. He talked about ideas for 50-year mortgages and ideas to bring the cost of housing down. But, like I said, people are feeling high prices and midterms are coming up. They're this year. So Republicans are still trying to see if this message of affordability resonates with Americans.
There were some fireworks at times with Democrats protesting pretty loudly. Tell us more.
Sure. Yeah, I think there were a couple of moments. The first one, of course, came at the very top of the speech when we saw Democratic Congressman Al Green ushered out of the chamber. He held up a sign kind of making reference. It said, "Black people are not apes," making reference to, remember that video that President Trump posted a couple of weeks ago that at the very end showed a clip of the Obamas portrayed as apes. That was, then taken down, but the president didn't apologize for it. The White House kind of just saying that was a mistake, but not saying we're sorry. And so that was certainly kind of a dramatic moment at the top. And then there were certain moments where there were a couple of Democrats who were yelling about immigration. The president touched on immigration, but he notably did not talk about Minneapolis or the 2 Americans that were recently killed there in immigration operations. And so clearly those Democrats trying to call attention to that, sort of absent message in the president's speech.
We saw members of the Supreme Court in the Capitol building yesterday listening to the speech. Many of them voted against the president in that tariff decision last week. What did the president, first of all, what was his interaction like with the justices when he saw them?
Yeah, talk about awkward, right? Because in recent days, we've really seen the president hammer the justices who ruled against him on this tariff decision. We know that's something he was very angry about. He called them out by name on his Truth Social. So then last night, what we saw was a pretty muted response from the president in comparison, because all he said on the tariffs front was that it was an unfortunate decision by the Supreme Court. And that's really the strongest language he used. He kind of looked to the more what's next positive side of this by talking about look, we've got another plan on tariffs. We're going to make them stronger than ever, and sort of brushed it off. He didn't talk about the Supreme Court justices by name. And I actually noted that at the top, as he walked through the chamber and shook hands, he shook the hand of Justice Amy Coney Barrett, who, he had just days earlier called out by name, kind of going after her, saying she's, sort of ashamed to herself and her family. So very personal attacks contrasted with what seemed like a pretty polite interaction on the night of the State of the Union.
The president did give quite a rosy view of the nation's economy. What were some of the highlights?
Yeah, he did. I mean, he talked about how the stock market has hit record highs. He talked about how his administration has brought down core inflation. He talked about the prices of gas going lower. And that's a message we've heard from the president all along, right? He's been saying the economy is strong. He rated the economy, remember, at A++++. But like I said, that's really contrasting with what we're hearing on the ground from Americans who say they just aren't feeling as positively about the economy as the president seems to.
And what stood out to you when the president was talking about immigration? What stood out to you in his comments there?
Yeah, I mean, in many ways, this was the president's greatest hits, right? He said, we closed the border, we're bringing immigration down, we're deporting people. I think what stood out to me was what he didn't say at a time when I know there are a lot of concerns among Americans that maybe the president has gone too far with, the deportation efforts. And I mentioned the 2 Americans killed in Minneapolis. The president didn't say much about, look, we're going to tone it down, we're going to bring down the temperature. He sort of hammered home his same message on immigration without referencing, the sort of drawback that we've seen in recent weeks.
We anticipated the president talking a bit about Iran. What did he have to say?
Yes, we did. And, one of the things I specifically was listening for was to see whether the president would announce military action. We know there's been that massive buildup of U.S. forces just off the coast of Iran. The president did not do that and really didn't announce anything new on that front. What he did do is emphasize that diplomacy is his preference here. He talked about the ongoing negotiations, though he did kind of warn they're not necessarily where he wants to see them. He says Iran and its leaders really haven't made sufficient promises on their nuclear weapon capabilities. He just says, the goal here is there will be no nuclear weapons for Iran. And he did sort of threaten military force, military action if they don't come to the table on that, if they don't make an agreement that he's satisfied with.
One of the interactions I was able to be awake for before I crashed last night, Hannah, was when the president was talking about ending several wars, and there was a member of Congress who was angrily disputing that. What was happening there?
Yeah, I'm not sure I know which moment you were talking about on that, but there were a couple of moments of foreign policy that the president referenced in his speech, and that's certainly a message that we were looking for and expecting, because foreign policy has really been, an overarching theme of the president's first year back in office here.
We really appreciate your wrap up this morning. Thank you, Hannah. News Nation's Hannah Brandt.
I hope Hannah can join us again.
She's great.
That was fantastic.
Thank you.
It's coming up on 6:23, 6:22 right now. Let's check in with Sully as he's got an eye on already a busy morning drive.
And already a 25-minute delay for our friends coming down from Arlington trying to work into Marysville. We've got a crash right there at 529 in Marysville that's been over on the right-hand lane for the last 25 to 30 minutes or so. 40 minutes from Arlington into Everett at this point. Once you get through that, it's a pretty decent drive the rest of the way down. We do have the brake lights as you approach the forced merge in Northgate. We also have brake lights there pulling away from Linwood. You're going to need a little over 40 minutes from Everett to Seattle or Everett to Bellevue. Northbound I-5, not too bad, about 40 minutes from Federal Way to Seattle. But we are already seeing the northbound slowing right there at the First Avenue South Bridge on 509-99 as we continue to work with the loss of the 2 right lanes. Rented to Bellevue, about 20 minutes now. The Valley Freeway, a little over 40, maybe 42 at this point. Olympia to Tacoma is starting to see just a little bit of braking through the merge there as you get into Nisqually. 18 looks pretty good, and 16 looking really good as well, and the lake bridges are quiet. This report brought to you by Wilcox Family Farms. Cage-free eggs are good, free range are better. Mobile pasture eggs are the best. Choose the best for your family. always having trouble saying mobile pasture-raised eggs. I just have trouble with that.
It's early.
But they're good. Go check them out. Wilcox Family Farms Eggs.
Thank you. Partly cloudy. We'll see isolated showers for the day. Nothing too threatening. 49-hour high. Pretty much the same tomorrow and Friday. And the weekend still looks terrific. Partly cloudy Saturday. Will be mostly sunny by Sunday with highs into the low 50s, possibly mid-50s for Monday and Tuesday. Right now in Seattle, we have partly cloudy skies. It's 33 degrees. And coming up, KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey on a bombshell statement from Bill Gates. He'll have the details. We'll also get to your opening bell report here on Seattle's Morning News.
We're here for Boss Retirement Solutions. You know, saving for retirement isn't easy. You skip the vacation, you drive the car a few extra years, you tell yourself, I don't really need that boat. You definitely needed the boat. But you made the sacrifice anyway. So if you've put away $300,000 or more, that represents years of hard work and discipline, and the last thing you want to do is give more of it to the government than you have to. But here's what catches a lot of people off guard. Taxes could be one of your biggest expenses in retirement. Taxes on your IRA and 401k withdrawals, taxes on your Social Security, taxes on your investment income. It adds up fast. So I want to tell you about the team at Boss Retirement Solutions. They offer a free, customized retirement tax savings analysis. No cost, no obligation. They'll show you the strategies that could significantly reduce what you owe, so more of your money stays right where it belongs. Boss has 2 locations in the Seattle area. Give them a call, 206-210-1350. 206-210-1350. You've earned it. Keep it. 206-210-1350.
For informational purposes only, actual results may vary. No statement contained herein shall constitute tax, legal, or investment advice.
KIRO News Radio is right there with you.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us.
On your smart speaker before you head out the door.
We continue to be in recovery mode on northbound I-5.
Watch live on YouTube or the KIRO Newsradio app.
Newfangled idea of having to see the people while they're talking.
The office, the gym, wherever you are.
Get on the YouTube channel. The whole gang's there.
KIRO News Radio. 97.3 FM, powered by MyNorthwest.com.
At Guardian Roofing, Gutters, and Insulation, we know the key to a long-lasting roof is yearly maintenance. Need an inspection, repair, restoration, moss removal, or just a cleanup? You can trust Guardian's licensed, insured, and expertly trained team. We offer free estimates, second opinions, and financing, giving you the peace of mind your home deserves. Call today. Our first-time customers can save $99 on our award-winning roof repair and cleaning service. Visit us at guardianroofing.com.
Hi, I'm Jen from Sky Nursery. If you're like me, you're itching to get out in the garden and get your hands in the soil. So check out Sky's full schedule of gardening events to help you get ready for spring. Learn about pruning fruit trees, tips for roses, a 2-day Wonders of Willow festival, hanging basket workshops, and more. Want to grow your own vegetables? I'll be sharing insights from 2 decades of veggie gardening in the Northwest. Anyone can do it. Learn more and get ready for spring at skynursery.com.
Febreze. New Febreze Air Mist has 50% more odor fighters and up to 30% more fragrance than the old formula. So now you can take on 100% more stinky odors, like sweaty gym bags, greasy cooking smells, and the after effects of the dog rolling around in something. Just spray, and new Febreze Air instantly restores just clean freshness. Smell you later, odor. Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Bring your visions to life with smart business buying tools and technology from Amazon Business. From fast, free shipping to in-depth buying insights and automated purchase approvals, we deliver everything you need to achieve your goals. Go to AmazonBusiness.com for support.
Your tax return is one of the most important financial documents you produce each year. Have you ever looked at it and wondered what else can you do to minimize your taxes? John Curley here to tell you about Madrona Financial's 1040 Treasure Hunt Workshop, a hands-on tax planning workshop that helps you use your 1040 tax return to uncover tax reduction strategies, avoid future tax surprises, and plan ahead with confidence. The 1040 Treasure Hunt Workshop is at 6 p.m. on March 3rd at Madrona Financial's Kirkland office. This free hands-on event will expose ways to pay less in taxes and plan for the future. If you want fewer surprises and more control, this workshop is the place to start. Tuesday, March 3rd at 6 p.m. RSVP by calling 833-673-7373. That's 833-673-7373. Or visit madronafinancial.com/events to grab your seat today.
This is a paid advertisement. Investments involve risk. See full disclosures at madronafinancial.com.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now, there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team. Build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. And you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it today at carsforkids.org. Your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call 1-877-CARS4KIDS to donate your car today. That's cars with a K.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from Eastlake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Good morning. It is 6:30. A bombshell of a story developing this morning.
Microsoft co-founder Bill Gates is reportedly admitting he had 2 affairs with Russian women while married to his now ex-wife, Melinda Gates.
KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey is here with the details.
Yeah, the Wall Street Journal is reporting that Gates told staffers during a town hall meeting at the Gates Foundation that he had those 2 affairs. He apologized for his ties with convicted pedophile Jeffrey Epstein, and he said his mistakes cast a cloud over the Gates Foundation, but he insisted he never took part in any of Epstein's crimes. This was Gates on PBS NewsHour some 4 years ago.
You know, I had dinners with him. I regret doing that.
Is there a lesson for you, for anyone else looking at this?
Well, he's dead. So, you know, in general, you always have to be careful.
Yeah, Melinda Gates filed for divorce that exact same year. About a month ago, she said this on NPR.
So whatever questions remain there of what I can't even begin to know all of it, those questions are for those people and for even my ex-husband. They need to answer to those things, not me.
During the town hall, the Journal reports that Gates said he spent time with Epstein in the U.S. and overseas after Epstein was convicted back in 2008. But he repeated he did nothing illicit and that he never met with Epstein's victims or visited his private island. He also acknowledged his former wife had long been skeptical of those relationships. A foundation spokesperson told the Journal Gates spoke candidly and took responsibility for his actions. But what a bombshell this morning.
Indeed. 6:32 now. 5 people are dead in the Key Peninsula town of Purdy after what appears to be a domestic dispute.
That led to an officer-involved shooting, the suspect among the dead, and we get more details from KIRO News Radio's James Lynch.
This all started when dispatchers got a call for a protection order violation. Then came another 911 call for someone being stabbed. Pierce County deputies arrived, and in whatever followed, deputies shot and killed the suspect. Tacoma PD's Shelby Boyd with the sequence of the morning's events.
The initial call came out at 8:41 this morning, stating that there was a violation of an order. At 9:30, additional information came in about stabbing taking place. And at 9:33 is when shots fired was called out by the deputy.
The Pierce County Force Investigation Team is now on scene. They are working now to figure out exactly what happened here. In Purdy, James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
A former candidate for governor of Washington state fractured his spine during a police response. No assault charges have been filed, though, and the suspect is already on bail. Here's KIRO News Radio's Jillian Raftery.
Lauren Culp, a former small-town police chief and candidate for governor, is recovering after fracturing his back during an arrest last week. This happened in Lisle, where he's now a Klickitat County Sheriff's deputy. It started when a fellow deputy's barn was set on fire. An investigation led them to a neighbor who the sheriff says drove into a patrol car and fought with deputies, injuring Culp and one other. Kiva Dobson was charged with arson and burglary, but not assault. The prosecutor tells KIRO News Radio they don't have enough evidence. You can read a lot more on mynorthwest.com.
Seattle police are investigating a six-figure home burglary in Queen Anne.
Last Thursday, police were called out to a home near 9th and West McGraw. The homeowner found her door had been forced open. Her house was ransacked. Investigators say about $130,000 worth of purses, jewelry, and other items were stolen. They're trying to figure out if that home was targeted. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
Time to check traffic. Here's Chris Sullivan with his eyes on the roads for us.
And we are keeping a close eye on the situation in Marysville. We continue to work with the right lane being blocked right there at 529 in Marysville. And so we have a 4-mile backup at about a 40-minute drive from Arlington down into Everett. 25-minute grind through that backup that begins well before Tulalip and goes all the way through the area. Once you're through that, you've got about a 50-minute trip from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue. Brake lights there in the usual suspect locations. Coming up from the south end, Olympia to Tacoma looking really good. 35 minutes for you. Tacoma's quiet, and Federal Way to Seattle's about 45 minutes. There's some off and on slowing past the Kent Des Moines Road, a little bit more at the West Seattle Bridge, but nothing you can't handle. Northbound 509 is backing up a little bit right there at the beginnings of the First Avenue South Bridge. Remember, the two right lanes remain blocked. Renton to Bellevue, 20 minutes, and about 45, maybe a little under, up the Valley Freeway. This report brought to you by D.R. Horton. D.R. Horton has new homes and communities across Puget Sound and Central Washington ready for you. Visit drhorton.com, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
Our forecast, just isolated showers, otherwise partly cloudy today, warming up to near 50. Tomorrow and Friday look pretty much the same, and then the weekend looks dry and nice. Partly cloudy Saturday and 48, mostly sunny on Sunday. Looks like we could be into the mid-50s for Monday and Tuesday. Right now in Seattle, partly cloudy and 33.
Opening bell report. After a big Monday sell-off, the stock market bounced back. CBS business reporter Jason Brooks has more.
Investors put aside tariff uncertainties and rallied stocks higher, getting help from a big AI chip deal between Advanced Micro Devices and Facebook and Instagram parent Meta, while February consumer confidence levels rose above expectations. The Dow surged higher by 370 points to 49,174. The Nasdaq climbed at 236 points to 22,863, and the S&P rose 52 points to 68.90. Oil dropped 68 cents to $65.63. Jason Brooks, CBS News.
Well, during his State of the Union address, President Trump argued his agenda has sparked a boom in jobs and U.S. manufacturing. CBS News Money Watch correspondent Kelly O'Grady says the president also talked about the benefits of tariffs.
When the president was talking about tariffs, touting all of the revenue that was coming in, and it was a line that made me go, wait, hold on a second. He said that we could even get to the point where the tariff revenue would replace income tax. And so I'm sort of thinking to myself, okay, well, how would that work? It is a bit of a pipe dream, but I ran the numbers, and you would need to bring in over $2 trillion in tariff revenue every year to actually make that happen.
Amazon leaving another Seattle building. Puget Sound Business Journal reports the company will not renew its lease at a 251,000 square foot building near its Denny Triangle headquarters. Amazon confirmed the move yesterday. Employees at the building on Terry Avenue will relocate to other nearby offices in May. Company wouldn't say how many workers are affected, but based on the building size, it could be more than 1,500. It's the latest sign Amazon is shrinking its Seattle footprint while expanding on the east side.
Well, it's not your standard real estate sale. The Via 6 apartments in Seattle's South Lake Union area sold in December for $296 million. That's about $451,000 per unit. It was the second largest multifamily transaction in the entire country for the fourth quarter of last year. And according to the Business Journal, our region's largest in at least 3 years. seems to confirm analyst rankings for Seattle as one of the top markets for real estate investment.
President Trump is considering a proposal that would require banks to force their customers to provide information about their citizenship status. The story from CBS's Christopher Cruz.
The Wall Street Journal reports the president may sign an executive order that would require banks to collect documents from both new and current customers who want to maintain a bank account in the U.S. The Journal reports the proposal is being reviewed by the Treasury Department. Banks are concerned about the plan and question whether they have the right to collect information about their customers' citizenship status.
A new chapter in the story of some monkey business overseas.
You haven't heard the last of the IKEA toy that went viral after it turned up in footage featuring Punch, the baby macaque monkey at a zoo in Japan, brutally rejected by his mom and dad. After selling out at stores, the fluffy orange orangutan plushie has been popping up on secondary markets at more than 10 times the retail price. Top asking on eBay for the support doll, $350. Last week, a top exec at IKEA Japan visited the Ichikawa City Zoo to donate several replacements so Punch is never without his cuddly companion. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
What the world needs now is more Punch the monkey.
Who's paying $350 for a stuffed monkey right now?
I love Punch. Maybe that's a little steep, but still.
Nick, in my ever long quest to get you to pull sound bites, will you pull yourself as a sound bite of who's paying $350 for a monkey nowadays?
I think that's a gem, yeah.
Yeah,
like
okay.
That.
All right.
The biggest part of this whole story is, do you see it when it got so tattered and dirty, they tried to replace it?
Yeah.
What, does that zookeeper not have children?
I know.
You cannot take away a favorite stuffy. Are you kidding me?
No, you cannot.
Tommy had his till he was like 16. Same one.
Yeah, my daughter still has hers.
Come on, you can't do that.
Odd Wall Street right now. The Dow is up 221 points. S&P 500 ahead 38. And the NASDAQ up 169.
A word for KIRO 7 News, live starting at 4. It's news that puts you there so you can see for yourself. News that's happening now so you're ready. News that investigates to get you answers. News that's local, because where you live matters. No more, no now, on KIRO 7 News at 4, 5, and 6 p.m.
Okay, Sully, what's coming up in traffic?
Well, we're going to take a look at the crash that's causing all the trouble coming down out of the Marysville area. We'll break it down next.
The opening bell is brought to you by Legacy Group Capital's Northwest Fund.
The John Curley Show.
When people sit there and they see people with the American flag and they're utterly disgusted because they associate the flag and USA with Donald Trump, don't do that. You're doing yourself an amazing disservice.
Weekdays 3 to 7.
You could dislike Donald Trump, but you can still love America. It's like discounting Photograph from Nickelback, which is actually a pretty good song. Think of the fact that you love this country, and what you love about it is it's inclusive. Good. Include others.
Watch The John Curley Show live on YouTube.
Progressive Insurance knows pets, and one of the biggest differences between people and pets is that we don't eat things off the floor. But dogs definitely will, and it makes them so happy, no matter what it looks like, smells like, or what state of decomposition it's in. We all want to go through life that carefree, and that's also why you should get Progressive Pet Insurance, because they eat things off the floor. So protect your pet from all the questionable life decisions they make. You know where they drink from when you're gone, right? Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Covered subject to policy terms and conditions.
Need life insurance but have diabetes, high blood pressure, or on anxiety meds? If you're a 50-year-old male, even porky, or with type 2 diabetes, $1 million of life insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. For affordable term life insurance, call Term Provider and speak with Big Lou at 800-777-1225. 800-777-1225 or visit biglou.com. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. 800-777-1225.
Out at the Wilcox family farm, our hens roam freely on fresh green pasture. But that means predators like coyotes and eagles are always nearby. That's where our team of Great Pyrenees help out. These gentle giants were born to protect, and they become a part of our family. Raised alongside the chickens from puppyhood. Our hens are raised humanely, our practices are organic, and our promise is simple. Fresh eggs straight from our farm to your table. Wilcox Family Farms, locally fresh since 1909.
What if you could have the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? That's the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. 5 years of Wi-Fi that boosts speeds to the devices that need them most, that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them, like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense, and that keeps you gaming in the fast lane, even when the whole family's banking on bandwidth. All your devices working in perfect harmony for 5 5 whole years. And here's the best part. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included.
Plus, get online in no time with same-day Wi-Fi.
Hey, let's face it, a lot can change in 5 years. Kids grow taller, dreams grow bigger, but your Wi-Fi, it would stay reliable and the price would stay put. The Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Xfinity, imagine that.
Select plans only. Restrictions apply. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025. Actual speeds vary. Xfinity Internet powered by fiber and connected to the premises by coaxial cable.
6:43, time for traffic on the threes with Chris Sullivan.
And while most of the drive out there is somewhat unremarkable, we are dealing with about a 4-mile backup on southbound I-5, trying to get into and through the Marysville area. Crash right there at 529. Been blocking for a while. The right lane is still blocked, and we have about a 40-minute trip from Arlington into Everett. That is a 25-minute delay through the area. So the brake lights begin basically right around 116th there, right as you get into the Tulalip resort area, and then work your way down. Once you're through that, though, it's a pretty clean drive all the way down till you get to 145th, getting into downtown Seattle, and then you hit the normal stuff from there. But all in all, it's about 50 minutes from Everett to Seattle, about 50 from Everett to Bellevue as well. Brake lights south of Canyon Park, not, again, anything out of line. Northbound 405, the Renton-S cars are active, 25 minutes to get you up into Bellevue, and then you have about a 45-minute trip behind that up the Valley Freeway, which is pretty decent. Federal Way to Seattle, about 45 as well. Brake lights past the West Seattle Bridge, they're manageable today. And northbound 509, just a little slowing as you approach the First Avenue South Bridge, where we still have the 2 right lanes blocked. This report brought to you by the KIRO Newsradio App. You can text app to 888-973-5476. You can download the KIRO Newsradio App and listen to your favorite shows. Get the latest news and updates sent right to your phone.
We're going to see a partly cloudy day, just isolated showers, 49 the high. Tomorrow and Friday look pretty much the same, and then the weekend looks great. We're going to dry out, see partly cloudy skies Saturday, mostly sunny by Sunday and 51, possibly into the mid-50s by Monday. Right now it's 33 in Seattle.
Coming up, President Trump says he prefers a diplomatic solution between the U.S. and Iran over nuclear weapons. What would that look like? We'll ask CBS military analyst Jeff McCausland straight ahead on Seattle's Morning News.
I'm worried.
About what?
Water.
Oh?
Hot water, if you really want to know.
Water heater worries?
Worried it's wearing down.
Running out?
The hot doesn't last like it used to.
So you're...
worried.
I got a guaranteed fix.
Let me guess. A new water heater.
Right, but...
that's what worries me.
Well, worry no more.
Why?
What you need is an Apollo Plumbing water heater.
Because?
We include Wrenchie's worry-free warranty.
Wrenchie's what?
Worry-free warranty.
Which means?
When it wears out, we replace it.
No extra charge.
As an A-List Club member, you're covered for life.
For life?
For as long as you're an A-List member. You get annual life-extending water heater flushes included.
So it lasts longer.
Right.
And when it needs replacement,
you're covered.
With no worries.
Because it's Wrenchie's
worry-free warranty.
What else would you expect from the Ready Right Now plumbers?
Apollo Plumbing.
Home of Wrenchie's worry-free warranty.
What about tankless ones?
Worry-free too.
Gotta love that Wrenchie.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
Free consultations, no fee guarantees, 5-star reviews. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains the importance of going beyond these familiar offerings.
Accident victims want an attorney, Tom, that satisfies their needs. Someone who handles those needs with the highest degree of care. Pendergast Law offers the no-fee guarantees and free consultations, but these only scratch the surface.
Okay, explain more.
We make sure that every member of our team is genuinely passionate about helping others. Customer service and communication are our top priority. It's how we take care of our clients so they always feel one step ahead of the insurance companies. Our strong reputation for high standards provides comfort and confidence when it's needed most.
Pendergast Law offers the free consultations, the no-fee guarantees, and of course, they are 5-star rated. But what really makes them different is their genuine passion for helping others. I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
That's PendergastLaw.com.
At Guardian Roofing, Gutters, and Insulation, we understand improving your home is an investment in your family, and we're here to help make it easier. With our flexible financing, keeping your family safe, comfortable, and dry has never been more affordable. For more than 20 years, Guardian has earned the trust of thousands of homeowners across the Pacific Northwest with a reputation for quality that lasts. So why wait? Start guarding your home today. Call or visit guardianroofing.com.
Seattle's Morning News on KIRO News Radio.
Thanks for joining us on this Wednesday morning. Tension continues between the U.S. and Iran as President Trump continues to push for a nuclear deal, saying in his State of the Union address last night, it has been the policy of the United States never to allow Iran to obtain a nuclear weapon.
Once again, we bring in CBS military analyst Jeff McCausland. So great to have you with us this morning. There are kind of some contradictions within the Trump administration. The president claimed that Operation Midnight Hammer in June obliterated Iran's nuclear weapons program. But then you have the U.S. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff claiming this week Iran is just a week away from making a nuclear bomb. Which is it, Jeff?
Yeah, that's a $64 question, man. I mean, you're right. And the administration was very insistent back in June that they had, quote unquote, obliterated. And in fact, they insisted on that particular verb in describing the massive bombing attack on Iranian nuclear facilities. And now we have these comments by Witkoff that they're only a few days away, which is a little bit difficult to believe, quite frankly. But in his remarks last night, the president did not really, I think, lay out a clear explanation to the American people why we have now assembled the largest military force in the Middle East since the invasion of Iraq in 2003 and seem poised on the verge of conducting military operations. He talked about preventing them from getting a nuclear weapon, but then that seems to be a matter of choice and not a matter of necessity. And, you know, man, I went back and read George Bush's State of the Union in 2003, which was very brief, and he devoted all of his remarks to explaining to the American people exactly why we needed to go to war and invade Iraq back then. We didn't get that sense, I thought, last night from Mr. Trump's remarks. He talked about their ballistic missile program as well as their nuclear program. He talked about their support for proxies, but again, not laying out a clear explanation. We do know tomorrow Mr. Witkoff and Jared Kushner will meet with Iranians in Geneva, and supposedly they've got some kind of a draft proposal for the United States to review.
Jeff, I suspect I might be a little like you on social media. I follow a lot of these open source intelligence analysts who are posting what a massive buildup this is. I know you kind of talked about it, but really bring us up to speed for the casual listener. How many forces from the U.S. are in the Middle East right now?
Well, again, it's the largest assembly of force since the invasion of Iraq in 2003. In the Arabian Sea, you've got the USS Abraham Lincoln Carrier Battle Group offshore and a couple of destroyers operating in the Persian Gulf. And then in the eastern Mediterranean, you now have the USS Gerald Ford, which has been underway now for 8 months. It was in the Mediterranean. It went to the Caribbean for the counter-narcotic operation and the raid on Venezuela back in January, and now it's returned to the Mediterranean. So those sailors have been underway for 8 months. They're now in the Eastern Med position where they could strike Iran. And then on top of that, we have 30 to 40,000 troops at various bases that we have throughout the region, and they have been bolstered by up to 150 additional land-based aircraft, intelligence gathering, refuelers, bombers, fighters, etc., as well as increased air defense. So a sizable force, but a force that looks like characterized to conduct an air and perhaps naval campaign. We don't see the positioning of large-scale ground forces like we saw in 2003 in Kuwait that might suggest any possibility of the United States entering Iran physically on the ground in a big way, though you might see some kind of special operations missions in Iran if, in fact, an attack occurs.
Jeff, last night the president said he prefers a diplomatic solution with Iran. How likely is that?
Well, the Iranians say that there is a chance for a deal, and it all seems to hinge around the question of can Iran be allowed some ability to enrich uranium. The Iranians say they wish to maintain the ability to do so at very, very low levels, like 3.6%, which is needed for medical or civilian use, but not up to the 90% required for a nuclear weapon. The Trump administration initially has been very adamant about no enrichment whatsoever. Initially, they also said there had to be limits on Iran's ballistic missile program and also their support for proxy groups in the region. Think of the Houthis or think of Hezbollah. But it seems the administration is now moving towards pushing those particular topics to a later state of negotiation. And perhaps the president hinted last night when he said not acquiring a nuclear weapon, some flexibility again on that level of enrichment, which might allow some kind of diplomatic solution to be discovered.
One news report from Reuters set off alarm bells for me. You mentioned the aircraft carriers, Jeff. We have Iran close to acquiring a supersonic missile from China. What do we know about this?
Yeah, these are supersonic anti-carrier cruise missiles that they've been trying to acquire for some time. Apparently that deal has gone through. There also have been reports that Iran has been able to bolster its air defenses by the purchase of air defense systems from the Russians. But that being said, Charlie, we pretty well decimated a lot of their air defense networks, a lot of their ballistic missiles during not only our strike back in June, but the 12-day war between Israel and Iran that occurred as well. And any kind of military operation, I think, that we might conduct in Iran might very well be conducted in concert with the Israelis. We had Prime Minister Netanyahu, of course, visiting the White House in the last couple of weeks, apparently providing additional intelligence on what the Iranians were doing, and many believe urging Mr. Trump to move forward on a military operation.
Jeff, I always wish we had more time with you. Thank you very much for helping us sort things out this morning. CBS military analyst Jeff McCausland.
6:53 now. Time for traffic on the threes with Chris Sullivan.
And only one real surprise on the board at this point, and that's the southbound slowing and 25-minute delay we have getting into and through the Marysville area because of a crash that we've been working with all hour right there at 529 in Marysville. And we are looking at about a 40-minute trip from Arlington into Everett, about a 4.5-mile backup that begins right around 116th and continues all the way. I think because the word's out there's a little bit more extra traffic on southbound 204 getting down out of the Lake Stevens area and then down to the Trestle. Westbound Trestle's a little heavier than normal as well. I think people are trying to avoid I-5. Once you get over to I-5, it's really not all that bad, all the way down till you get to about 145th. From there on down, it's the struggle. For southbound 405, it's there before Canyon Park down through 522. We're just under an hour from Everett to Seattle or Everett to Bellevue, and we're pretty close to the $15 toll on 405. Speaking of 405, northbound from Renton to Bellevue, manageable, 27 minutes. No brake lights really once you're past 30th up into Bellevue. Behind that, the Valley Freeway is certainly normal. We're looking at 45 minutes or less. Federal Way to Seattle, 45 minutes, maybe 48, depending on the slowing you hit right around the beginnings of Boeing Field. Again, I-5 is going to be a popular detour route to 509, which continues to struggle up to the 1st Avenue South Bridge. Lake bridges are quiet. Olympia to Tacoma's got some slowing up to the Kent Des Moines Road. I-5 from Olympia to Tacoma's there by Mounts Road. Some of my KIRO drivers are letting me know there are a couple of cars on the shoulder there. KIRO News Radio Real-Time Traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
Partly cloudy with isolated showers for today, a high around 50. Pretty much the same for tomorrow and Friday, and drying out for the weekend. It's 33 in Seattle right now.
National headlines and top local news on the way. And at 7:15, we're going to speak with former State Attorney General Rob McKenna on lawmakers' fears over election interference. That's coming up right here on Seattle's Morning News.
KIRO Newsradio, where you turn for the news you depend on.
Two competing budget proposals.
Senators want to be aggressive, they say.
Traffic.
We have a stall on westbound 16.
Conversation.
If they pass this thing and Governor Ferguson signs it into law, I think there's going to be a mass political sea change in Washington State.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
They're bringing it home again.
Broadcasting live from the KIRO News Radio YouTube channel. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM. KIRO FM and HD1 Tacoma, Seattle.
The stock market was on fire in 2025 due to AI and tech stocks. Now is the time to set a strategy for 2026. It's a good opportunity to lock in those gains and invest into a stable platform. With $8 trillion in cash sitting on the sidelines, investors are either scared or unsure where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rirucka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with zero investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
The Kendall President's Day sales event is on now at Kendall Ford of Marysville. With incredible low lease offers, it's time to step up to a new Ford. Lease a new four-wheel drive 2025 Ford Bronco Sport Big Bend at only $398 per month for 36 months with $1,000 cash or trade equity due at signing. Or get into a new 2025 Ford F-150 STX Crew Cab 4x4. Lease it for just $499 per month for 36 months with $5,700 cash or trade equity due at signing. Don't miss the savings during the Kendall President's Day sales event. On now at Kendall Ford of Marysville. Stop by today. Kendall. Let's start something great.
VIN number 3FSRF13799 and 1FSFC30527. $0 security deposit based on 10,500 miles per year. See lease posting at Kindle Ford of Marysville or call 833-935-0117 for complete lease details. All financing at approved credit prices listed do not include Texas title or license. A negotiable documentary service fee of up to $200 may be added to the sale price of the vehicle. Subject to prior sales, see dealer for details. Offer expires 2/28/26.
Hartley here from Wilcox Family Farms. I'm so excited to have my cousin Amelia with me today. So, I saw that you visited the baby chicks.
I got to hold 7 of them. They were so cute.
Do you know why Wilcox chickens are so happy?
Because they get to play outside?
Yes.
Happy chickens are healthy chickens.
From our farm to your table, Wilcox Family Farms eggs, locally fresh
since 1909.
When you walked through your kitchen this morning, what'd you see? Did it make you happy? Hi, I'm Chad Cicchini, owner of Heritage Homecraft. Well, I want to make you happy. We'll custom build you all new cabinet doors and drawer fronts, and using our exclusive 1/4-inch solid wood refacing process, transform your existing cabinets into a beautiful new kitchen. Add a custom quartz countertop, change things up a bit, add some more cabinets, install some cool new features like soft close drawers and sliding shelves, whatever you like. We'll help you to create the new kitchen you'll be proud of. All in about a week, and all with way less mess, hassle, time, and expense than to tear out. Stop waiting. For 18 years, we've been honored to serve thousands of happy customers, and we'd love to serve you. Call today and I'll get one of our pros to come out and show you how easy and comfortable it'll be to get going on your new kitchen. Heritage Homecraft, 425-485-1600, 425-485-1600, or heritagehomecraft.com.
Best Mortgage is proud to be the longest-running mortgage company on KIRO Radio. For 34 years, they've been giving honest advice you can trust as your VA loan and reverse mortgage experts and debt consolidation specialists, too. Just web search Best Mortgage.
We're the home of your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
They are bringing the Lombardi back to the Northwest.
KIRO FM and HD1 Tacoma, Seattle. This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by JTV.com.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. More than 3 weeks after she was abducted, there's still no sign of 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie. But yesterday's emotional video post from her daughter, the Today Show Savannah Guthrie, has led to new interest. Correspondent Jonathan Vigliotti is in Tucson.
Over the past 25 days, tens of thousands of tips have come in. Many, we are told by officials, have amounted to nothing. Since that video was posted yesterday, the FBI receiving 750 tips. At any moment, any one of them could break this case.
The Guthrie family announced up to $1 million for information that brings Nancy Guthrie home. President Trump trumpeted the first year of his second term in office in last night's State of the Union address.
We have achieved a transformation like no one has ever seen before, and a turnaround for the ages.
The analysis is in.
Media analyst Matt Friedman, co-founder of the PR firm Tanner Friedman, says Trump had some unifying moments.
From the U.S. hockey team to veterans to a hero of the mission in Venezuela.
But Friedman doubts Trump won over people upset about affordability or the fatal shootings of American citizens by immigration agents.
He doesn't follow the typical leadership approach of leveling with an audience, of reassuring an audience, of providing facts and concern for people.
Michael Wallace, CBS News.
There's more snow on the way in the Northeast, and some people in New York City say the plows still haven't arrived to dig them out after the Sunday to Monday blizzard. Among them, this man on Staten Island.
It's kind of concerning that they've just kind of forgot about us, but at the same time, I'm sure that they've prioritized other streets.
A famous museum got a new leader today. Reporter Brad Gibson from France.
The French government is not wasting any time replacing the director of the robbery at the museum last year. Christophe Larabeau is expected to take over as head with the job of improving security, and they'll have a challenging job getting the Louvre's credibility restored.
We're learning more about how even mild cases of COVID or flu can have a long-term impact on your body. CBS's Michael George has details.
Researchers at Tulane found that both viruses can leave lasting lung damage after the symptoms fade. But COVID in particular can cause persistent brain inflammation and damage to small blood vessels after the virus is no longer detectable. This may help explain why long COVID causes brain fog, fatigue, and mood changes.
The Dow is up 108 points in early trading. NASDAQ ahead 255. This is CBS News.
Looking for spring jewelry looks? Find them at Jewelry Television. New customers get $20 off purchases of $99 or more at jtv.com.
7:03, let's check traffic on the threes with Chris Sullivan.
Relatively normal Wednesday morning across the board. One exception, those of you on southbound I-5 trying to get down through the Tulalip area into Marysville. We've been working with a crash the better part of the last 90 minutes there at 529 that's been blocking the right lane, and we have a 4-mile backup that begins right before 116th and about a 25-plus minute delay Arlington to Everett at 40 minutes. What this has done is created a lot more action on 9 and then down 204 out of Lake Stevens and then westbound across the Trestle. So if that's your normal route, expect to have a little extra company today. And then you get over to the I-5 corridor in Everett, and southbound 5 is really good all the way down to 145th in Shoreline. 405 isn't too bad. The breaks begin a little closer to Canyon Park than I-5. So today, Everett to Seattle or Bellevue is a little under an hour, which is pretty good. Federal Way to Seattle is about 45 minutes. No real huge trouble spots there, except for right past the West Seattle Bridge. Valley Freeway looking really good. Heavy in Auburn and at the north end, but 45 to 48 minutes there, about average. Rented to Bellevue, under 30. And northbound 509, a little slow past the First Avenue South Bridge because of the lane restriction. KIRO Newsradio Real-Time Traffic, I'm Chris Sullivan.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Good morning, it's 7:04. 5 people are dead in the quiet, close-knit community of Purdy on the Key Peninsula after a violent domestic dispute.
KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey is here with more on the details that are unfolding this morning.
Amanda, police say this started with a series of 911 calls yesterday morning. Here is Tacoma Police spokesperson Shelby Boyd.
The initial call came out at 8:41 this morning, stating that there was a violation of an order. At 9:30, additional information came in about stabbing taking place. And at 9:33 is when shots fired was called out by the deputy.
Boyd says when Pierce County deputies got there to the scene, one deputy ended up shooting and killing the suspect. Then they found the bodies of the 4 victims. Police say they had all been stabbed.
There are 3 victims that were deceased on scene. One victim was transported to a local hospital and was pronounced later. And then the suspect was shot by the deputy.
The Seattle Times reports a 52-year-old woman and a 32-year-old son are listed as residents at that home where this all happened. Investigators won't confirm the son is the same 32-year-old who was the suspect. According to the Times, the son had a mental health disorder and the mother struggled with his health issues and delusions. She said in a protection order, her son once pushed her and said, quote, her grave had already been dug. The deputy who shot the suspect is on administrative leave, which is standard, but very sad details unfolding in Purdy yesterday and today.
Thanks for the update, Luke. Spokane Congressman Michael Baumgartner says President Trump's State of the Union made clear America is leading with confidence again.
Certainly the highlights were seeing the gold medal winning hockey team, and certainly those Medal of Honor winners that stood forward to protect our nation.
The Republican praised lower crime rates and what he called the most secure southern border since the 1970s. Baumgartner also highlighted tax relief passed by House Republicans.
Senator Patty Murray says the state of our union is diminished under President Trump. Washington's senior Democrat delivered a blistering response to the State of the Union.
President Trump can try to take credit for the economy he inherited, and he could try to convince people that every problem in America is someone else's fault. But 1 year into his administration, it is very clear that our country is more divided, more chaotic, and less safe.
Murray argued Trump's policies are crushing families when it comes to health care, education, and just affording everyday necessities. She went further, warning the Constitution itself is under attack from this president.
Law enforcement agencies are pointing fingers after an arrest that injured 2 deputies. KIRO News Radio's Jillian Raftery explains.
Among the injured, Lauren Culp, the former small-town police chief who ran for governor in 2020. He's now a Klickitat County Sheriff's deputy in southern Washington, and he's recovering from a fractured spine after an operation to serve a warrant on an arson suspect who rammed a patrol car and fought with deputies. The sheriff says the state patrol denied their backup request. A patrol spokesman says they couldn't help until the next day. Kiva Dobson was charged with arson and burglary, but the prosecutor says they don't have enough evidence for assault. Dobson is already out on bail. You can read a whole lot more on mynorthwest.com.
keeping you informed since 1974. This is the city's longest-running radio news show.
Seattle's Morning News on KIRO Newsradio.
It is 7:08. Good morning. It's Wednesday, February 25th. He's Charlie Harger. I'm Manda Factor.
Thank you so much for being with us this morning. We have producer David Burbank making the show run on time today. Nick Krasia is picking the tunes. He has more than a feeling this morning. Thank you, Nick.
Yeah.
Sully is over there with traffic. And, of course, Jillian Raftery is keeping an eye on all the news headlines out at the news desk.
Ooh. In case you haven't been paying attention to Mariners spring training.
Here comes the pitch to Cal. Swung on, lasered center field, hit well, held back. He's at the track. He's at the wall. Cal Raleigh's first one of the spring.
Big Dumper's up to his old ways. More Cactus League action this afternoon at 12:05 on our sister station, 710 Seattle Sports.
So in a couple of weeks, I'm going down for a youth baseball tournament. Sam is playing in the 13U. It'll be in the Phoenix area.
Fun.
And we went to go get tickets for a Saturday game. They're playing the Dodgers. They are completely sold out. I think they have standing room only. That is so unusual and so
awesome.
That tells a lot about how excited fans are for this upcoming season. Well, coming up this hour of the show, a group of Democratic attorneys general are bracing for what they are warning will be election interference from the Trump administration ahead of the midterms. Former state AG Rob McKenna will break it down.
7:35 commentary. What's coming up?
My takeaways from last night's State of the Union address.
It's now 7:09. A man is accused of posing as a postal worker and assaulting a Finney Ridge couple.
Police say last Friday, the 31-year-old man rang the doorbell of a home near 74th and Greenwood Avenue North. When a 52-year-old man answered the door, the suspect handed him a letter that demanded cryptocurrency. Police say the suspect forced his way in and assaulted the man and his wife. Police searched the suspect's postal bag and inside found a number of things, including electronic equipment, tape, plastic bags, large zip ties, tasers, and a tourniquet. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
Seattle police detectives are searching for whoever stole about $130,000 in valuables from a Queen Anne home last week. Officers found damage to the front door and drawers pulled and open throughout the house near 9th and West McGraw. This happened on Thursday. The burglar or burglars stole high-end purses, jewelry, other property. So far, no similar burglaries reported in that area.
Prosecutors say Edmonds paraeducator Roberto Rodriguez sexually abused a girl starting when she was just 10 years old. Rodriguez pleaded not guilty in King County yesterday. He met the girl when she was 5, and the alleged abuse happened while he was working as her tutor. Victims advocate Meredith Clark addressed the court.
The level of premeditation, planning, and executing of these acts of abuse show a sophisticated level of cunningness and deceit.
Rodriguez has posted $750,000 bail. Trial is scheduled for March 23rd.
A possible tuberculosis exposure being linked to Rainier Beach High School. Here's KIRO 7 TV's Elle Thomas.
King County Health says a person associated with the high school was diagnosed with active TB. The disease not easily spread, but 130 people associated with the school are now being evaluated.
Washington's proposed limits on automated license plate readers are moving forward. The measure would require agencies to delete most license plate data within 21 days. The House Judiciary Committee advanced the bill yesterday. Representative Osman Salahuddin voted yes.
It's been a delicate balance to ensure that license plate reader data does not get compromised or end up in the hands of out-of-state or federal agencies while still maintaining the utility of this technology for local law enforcement.
Democrat Amy Wallen, who supports the goals of the bill, but she voted no.
We need to truly exempt traffic safety and parking and red light cameras, in my view.
The bill now heads for the House. The Senate has already passed the bill with bipartisan support.
Well, this is gross. Relief for homeowners on Mercer Island who can flush their toilets again. City discovered a blockage in an underwater sewage line yesterday morning. Residents there got an emergency notification around 11 a.m. Areas north end of the island. They were told not to let any water flow down the pipes. Any discharge would fill the limited capacity and risk a backup onto neighboring properties. Finally, around 8:30 last night, the announcement came through. Blockage cleared. Restrictions lifted. Showers and toilets can go on again. Now, people around Luther Burbank Park are advised not to touch lake water for the next week, just in case.
Gross. You're right. It's 7:12. Time for a check on the weather. For that, here's KIRO 7's Nick Allard.
Little fog in the South Sound this morning with chilly conditions in the low 30s, so that could slow things down. May have to scrape your windshield. And then we have a little bit of shower activity, say, around Snohomish County north, and you'll just keep a few showers there today. And everybody in between, you got a mix of clouds and sun, at least partly cloudy, a nice day with highs in the upper 40s and lower 50s. It's an honest repeat tomorrow and Friday. Just a little blustery today, tomorrow, and all your moisture is focused over the North Cascades. So that's good news for, say, Stevens, 3 to 6 inches through Friday, and about a foot for Baker as well. And then this weekend, cold in the morning, yes, maybe a little fog, but we see sunshine in upper 40s and lower 50s, and even low to mid 50s Monday, Tuesday before the rain comes back in for Wednesday. Tuesday's high with sun could be 55.
Okay, sounds good. Right now in Seattle, partly cloudy and 33.
At 7:13, let's go to Chris Sullivan for traffic on the threes.
And we're enjoying a pretty normal Wednesday. Not much action across the board outside the normal places. The one exception for those of you stuck in what is a 25-minute delay on southbound I-5 as you make your way through Marysville. Still have the right lane blocked right there at 529, and we have a 40-minute trip from Arlington down into Everett, so not exactly a very good drive. But once you get through that, southbound 5 is pretty clear until you get all the way down to 145th, though. We've got about a 50-minute trip, though, from Linwood into Seattle, and about an hour and 10 all the way from Everett. We've got about 42 minutes from Linwood down into Bellevue, but
it's a reminder that, yes, it doesn't get there very often, and only when it really has to.
$15 in the express toll lane coming down out of Linwood. Rest of the map, about 45 to 50 minutes. Puyallup to Renton. Renton to Bellevue is a half hour. About 50 minutes now from Federal Way to Seattle, and we're still struggling getting up to the First Avenue South Bridge on 509. Only have those two left lanes open. Remember, the HOV lane is open to everybody with those two lanes restricted. KIRO News Radio Real-Time Traffic, I'm Chris Sullivan.
News matters. Experience counts. You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's Morning News.
It is 7:15. Thanks for being with us for Seattle's Morning News today. The attorneys general in several Democratic-leaning states are sounding the alarm ahead of the 2026 midterms. They're worried the Trump administration could interfere with the election process.
So let's get details from former Washington Attorney General Rob McKenna, a Republican. Rob, what state attorneys general are involved here?
Well, there are 6 Democratic state AGs who are involved, and they include our own Attorney General Nick Brown in Washington State, as well as Attorney General Rob Bonta of California and others. These AGs, who I just attended a conference with last week, are spending a lot of time thinking about these issues. 19 Democratic AGs have already banded together and sued the Trump administration. This was last spring, over his executive order targeting voting rules. Those rules have mostly been blocked by courts since then. And they've been pushing back when the administration has taken steps like dispatching election monitors to polling locations in New Jersey and California, which they did last fall. Attorney General Bonta in California deployed his own observers in his state in response. So it's move and counter move. And we can talk about why this is happening, but the Democratic AGs have said in public interviews and have said at the meetings I've attended, they're very concerned about potential administration interference in their state's elections.
Are there specific indicators that concern them?
Well, there's lots. Here's a juicy one. Homeland's, I'm quoting now from an article I read, Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem raised alarms among Democrats when she said her department is working to ensure, quote, that we have the right people voting, electing the right leaders, close quote. She's the head of the Department of Homeland Security, and she's saying that. It's very concerning.
So these are largely Democratic AGs who are sounding this alarm. What's your take as a Republican, Rob?
Well, they are largely Democratic AGs, but I'd point out that the administration is also trying to get a hold of voter information, including personally identifying information from states with Republican secretaries of state who oversee elections in Pennsylvania and New Hampshire. So this is not, not a problem limited to Democratic states, but the administration does, appear to be and actually is targeting states that tend to be blue or swing states like Pennsylvania, blue states like California, like Washington. And so what this indicates is that the administration is going to revive claims about illegal aliens voting, reviving claims about fraud in mail-in voting in order to create a narrative that the midterm elections this fall, in which the U.S. House of Representatives and the U.S. Senate will be at stake, that those midterms are not to be trusted, especially if they don't, only if they don't go Trump's way. If they go his way, of course, everything is fine.
Last night during the State of the Union, the president pushed for lawmakers to pass the Save America Act. Can you explain what that is?
Well, the Save America Act is attempting to put more restrictions in, on voting rules. This is part of the effort to, as the Democrats see it, nationalize. Actually, as Trump has said, nationalize, local and state elections. And of course, under the Constitution, states have control over how elections are operated. It's always been that way. It decentralizes that election process. And so this act is attempting to create national rules, like a Uniform Voter ID Act. So you'd have to show voter ID to go vote at the polls. So it's an attempt to put in place nationally measures which some Republicans have attempted to enact at a state level, but to do it through Congress.
Okay,
yeah.
Rob, I just wanted to shift gears a touch because if some listeners right now are going, well, there's Rob McKenna, he's gone full woke. He's got Trump derangement syndrome, whatever. You also were kind of spicy speaking to Washington state lawmakers, which might give you some bona fides with a more conservative side of things. You were talking about the income tax, the millionaire's tax. What was your take and what were you telling lawmakers?
Well, the income tax, and I appreciate you pointing out it is an income tax. The gimmick that its sponsors are using, calling it a millionaire's tax, is just that. It's a gimmick. It's a marketing ploy. It's a state income tax. It is not the first time that people in Olympia have tried to push through a state income tax. It's actually the 10th time, dating back to the 1930s. And every time voters have had their say, and every time, including in voting on 6 proposed constitutional amendments that would allow a state income tax, voters have said no. The last time they got to vote on a constitutional amendment, they voted no by 77%. And so we have, on the one hand, clearly expressed voter will, because and it's based on a language in the Constitution that the voters enacted, and that language defines property very broadly to reach intangibles like stocks, bonds, money, and income. And, the Supreme Court has recognized that language that defines property as everything tangible and intangible subject to ownership encompasses income. It isn't just one opinion of the Supreme Court in 1933. It's a series of opinions, and they're all based on a common sense reading that income is part of everything. It's an intangible, and we have property rights to it. So if I sounded a little spicy yesterday, it's because I wanted to be clear to the legislators who are supporting this bill. They're going to have to tell their constituents, and they're going to have to tell all taxpayers why they don't have a property right to their income.
Have you ever been referred to as spicy before?
I haven't, Charlie. You're kind of, I might. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Rob, we're talking with former Washington Attorney General Rob McKenna. So spell it out for us. Say this thing does pass. I would imagine there will be a long, drawn-out legal battle.
Oh, I don't think it'd be all that long. I think that there'll be a lawsuit filed promptly in King County or some other county superior court. I think that because the law is so clear on this, there's so many Supreme Court decisions which have held that a progressive income tax is unconstitutional. The Superior Court will have to rule that it's unconstitutional because they're bound by Supreme Court precedent. That's what happened when I helped bring a lawsuit challenging the Seattle city income tax, short-lived city income tax, which was overturned. Then it'll go up directly to the state Supreme Court. It'll bypass the Court of Appeals because the state, having lost in Superior Court, will ask the Supreme Court to directly review it. And then we'll see. We'll see if the state Supreme Court honors all the precedents that came before it, and also honors the fact that if people want this policy to be enacted, and look, you can have a debate about whether an income tax is a good thing or a bad thing for our state, but it's really up to the voters, as it has been 10 times before. And as 6 legislatures previously have recognized in putting together the votes to send an amendment to the ballot and let the voters decide. Is the Supreme Court going to honor, the Constitution, or are they going to be a super legislature and rewrite the Constitution? That's what's involved here.
Hey, Rob, I heard you mention that you went to a gathering of current state attorneys general, which sounds a little interesting to me. You're going to one of these gatherings. Are you planning on running for AG again?
No, part of my law practice is to represent clients that have issues with state AGs. So at this particular conference, I took a client in to meet with several AGs to talk about their company and to introduce their company to them, et cetera. So it's just part of what I do. There are lots of us who are former AGs who represent clients that have business with the state AGs. And we attend conferences of Democratic AGs, Republican AGs, bipartisan groups of AGs, you name it. It's just what I've been doing as part of my law practice for the last several years.
Nice try, Charlie.
I tried. If you did need a campaign slogan, follow me here, Rob.
Something spicy?
Yeah.
Make Washington spicy again.
I think that's worth thinking about, Charlie. I'm going to work on that and get right back to you.
See, he says he's considering running for AG. I think we've got the confirmation, the scoop here.
You're the best. We really appreciate your time every week. Thank you.
Always. Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right. Washington Attorney General Rob McKenna.
Former Washington Attorney General. Potential candidate. Chris Sullivan is checking traffic on the threes for us.
Yeah, and he's playing Augusta in April, just like Tiger is. Looking at the drive, we have now southbound I-5 getting through Marysville. Looks like we might have cleared the crash at 529. I'm starting to see things ease up a little bit there at the south end of that backup, but it still extends all the way up past 116th, and you have about a 38-minute trip from Arlington to Everett. So we picked up the pace just a little, so I'm hoping we're trending in the right direction. What this has done, though, is caused a lot more people to be on Highway 9 and then on down 204 and then across Highway 2 to get over the trestle. So that whole general area around that corridor seeing extra volume today. And then you get over to I-5, and it's really not all that bad. I mean, we've got about an hour and 10-minute trip from Everett to Seattle. We're up to an hour and 10 now as well from Everett to Bellevue, with the heavy brake lights now beginning almost right at Linwood and down. Across the lake, though, we're still good. Federal Way to Seattle's only 50 minutes. Those last couple of miles are going to be off and on slow, but nothing you can't handle. 509 northbound backing up, but not as bad as it has been. Two right lanes remain blocked across the First Avenue South Bridge. Renton to Bellevue, about 32 minutes now. We're definitely up over 50 from Puyallup to Renton. It's 30 minutes alone just out of Auburn, so we're seeing brake lights from before 180th all the way up. This report brought to you by Lake Washington Windows and Doors. It's home show season, so Lake Washington Windows and Doors is giving you 20% off, plus 12 months, same as cash financing. Visit them at the home shows or lakewashingtonwindows.com.
Just partly cloudy for your Wednesday, isolated showers, and that is going to be the pattern pretty much through Friday. And Saturday looks great, partly cloudy, 48, mostly sunny by Sunday into the low 50s. It's 33 in Seattle right now.
Coming up, Luke Ducey has a shocking admission from Microsoft's Bill Gates. And in the 735 commentary, what is the State of the Union when there is no unity? I'll ponder that coming up on Seattle's Morning News.
This hour is brought to you by CM Heating.
KIRO News Radio, where you turn for the news you depend on.
Two competing budget proposals. Senators want to be aggressive, they say.
Traffic.
We have a stall on westbound 16.
Conversation.
If they pass this thing and Governor Ferguson signs it into law, I think there's going to be a mass political sea change in Washington State.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
They're bringing it home again.
Broadcasting live from the KIRO News Radio YouTube channel. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Hey, it's Sully, and for over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has been one that the locals trust for honest pricing, expert service, and guaranteed repairs. This dedication has earned them a Carfax Preferred designation. At Bucky's, every customer gets detailed Carfax updates, timely service updates, a full service history, all at your fingertips. With 16 family-owned locations, no appointment needed, and easy financing, Bucky's makes auto care simple. Visit Bucky's.com today and drive with confidence.
Buying a car is a big decision, but Carter Subaru makes it so easy. Carter Subaru is Seattle's only Subaru dealership with more than 700 vehicles in stock, the largest selection in our state. And right now, you can get the 2026 Subaru Forester starting at 0.9% financing for 36 months. Shop now during the Subaru A Lot to Love event. Visit Carter Subaru in Shoreline or Ballard or anytime at cartersubaru.com.
On approved credit, subject to vehicle insurance and availability. A documentary service fee may be added to the sale price or capitalized cost. See dealer for details. Valid through 3/2/26.
I love a day on the water with friends, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis sometimes holds me back. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy.
Teaching music is my passion, but my active psoriatic arthritis can limit me at times. Now I'm treating my joint symptoms with Skyrizi.
With Skyrizi, most people with plaque psoriasis saw 90% clearer skin at 4 months.
Or if you are an adult with active psoriatic arthritis, Skyrizi helps you move with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
There's nothing like clearer skin.
There's nothing like better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZI to learn more.
Hey everyone, Hartley Wilcox here. And I'm Charlie Wilcox from Wilcox Family Farms. Our family's been raising hens and gathering fresh eggs right here for over 100 years. That's right. Our hens roam free on green pastures, soaking up the sunshine and living their best chicken lives. We don't do shortcuts. No cages, no chemicals, just honest-to-goodness eggs laid fresh every day. And when you buy Wilcox eggs, you're not just getting breakfast. You're supporting local farmers like us. Clean food, and a family that's been doing it right for generations. So next time you're at the grocery store, skip the out-of-state eggs and grab the ones with our name on them. Wilcox Family Farms. Fresh, local, trusted. Find fresh Wilcox eggs at Metropolitan Markets, PCC, or Safeway. And for a healthy snack on the go, grab some ready-to-eat hard-boiled eggs in a convenient to-go 2-pack. Wilcox Family Farms eggs, locally fresh since 1909.
It's clogged again.
Your drain?
Just had it cleared.
You didn't call Apollo Plumbing.
How can you tell?
Because your drain's clogged again.
So frustrating.
We can clear that drain.
That's what the last guy said.
We'll clear it, guaranteed.
He said that too.
Apollo Plumbing will clear your drain, or it's free.
Wait, what?
Apollo Plumbing clears your drain.
Or it's free?
Yep.
What's the catch?
No catch.
Fine print?
Apollo Plumbing clears your main drain for $83.
$83, or it's free?
And we'll even give you a camera inspection.
Because?
It's the best way to find what's causing your clog.
But that's extra.
Nope. Included.
No extra charge?
Not 1 cent.
$83, or it's free.
All it takes is an accessible outside cleanout.
And an Apollo plumber.
No clog is safe from Apollo Plumbing.
And just like that, my main drain is...
draining again.
How can you...
Apollo plumbers are that good.
$83, or it's free.
You call, we come.
My drain's draining again.
Guaranteed.
$83, or it's free.
As it should be.
Apollo Plumbing.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
If you're itching to get out in the garden and get your hands in the soil, check out Sky Nursery's schedule of gardening events to help you get ready for spring. Learn about fruit trees, roses, hanging baskets, and veggie gardening. Even a festival of willow. Details at skynursery.com.
Every business starts with an idea. With smart business buying from Amazon Business, get everything you need to grow in one familiar place. From office supplies to IT essentials and maintenance tools. Ready to bring your visions to life? Learn how at amazonbusiness.com.
Save $10 on a pair of Rain X Latitude wiper blades at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Our professional parts people will even install them for free.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Good morning. It's 7:31. A bit of a bombshell of a story developing this morning.
Microsoft co-founder Bill Gates reportedly admitting he had 2 affairs with Russian women while married to his now ex-wife, Melinda French Gates.
We get the details live from KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey.
Yeah, the Gates Foundation just sent me a statement moments ago. The spokesperson said that Bill Gates was answering questions during a town hall. There are 2 of these a year at the Gates Foundation. These were questions submitted by Foundation staff on a range of issues, including the release of the Epstein files. More on that statement from the foundation in a moment. The Wall Street Journal is reporting they're getting a little deeper into this, that Gates told staffers specifically at that town hall that he had those two affairs. He also apologized for his ties with convicted pedophile Jeffrey Epstein. He said his mistakes cast a cloud over the Gates Foundation, but he insisted he never took part in any of Epstein's crimes. Remember, this was Gates on the PBS NewsHour 4 years ago.
I had dinners with him. I regret doing that.
Is there a lesson for you, for anyone else looking at this?
Well, he's dead. So, in general, you always have to be careful.
Looking back now through a new lens here with this new information, these are kind of interesting to see. Melinda Gates filed for divorce that same year. About a month ago, she said this on NPR.
So whatever questions remain there of what I can't even begin to know all of it, those questions are for those people and for even my ex-husband. They need to answer to those things, not me.
So during the town hall, the Journal reports that Bill Gates said he spent time with Epstein in the U.S. and overseas in Germany and France after Epstein was convicted in 2008. Gates also said that he flew on Epstein's private jet but never met with Epstein's victims or visited his private island. Gates also said he did nothing illicit and saw nothing illicit. He also acknowledged his former wife had been long skeptical about the relationship with Epstein. Again, back to what the Gates Foundation spokesperson tells me, again, a scheduled town hall with employees that Bill does twice a year. He answered those questions submitted by staff. Bill spoke candidly, the spokesperson said, addressing several questions in detail and took responsibility for his actions. Charlie, Manda?
Thanks, Luke. Time to check traffic now with Sully.
And we are dealing with about a 20-minute delay on southbound I-5 from Arlington down into Everett because of this crash. We've been working right there at 529. I could use a little help from my friends out there on the text line to let me know if that crash is still blocking the right lane. But 35 minutes from Arlington to Everett. And then we've settled into a typical Wednesday pattern with about an hour and 10-minute trip from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue. Brake lights are right where you've gotten used to them over the last month and a half. Looking at northbound I-5, Federal Way to Seattle, about 52 minutes now, off and on heavy past the West Seattle Bridge. 509 also really jamming up out of Burien up to the First Avenue South Bridge. Puyallup to Renton, about 50 minutes. Renton to Bellevue, 35. Definitely seeing the eastbound slowing on 16 past Cheney Stadium, and we're still struggling up through Mounts Road where we had an earlier crash on northbound 5. KIRO Newsradio Real-Time Traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
A partly cloudy day, just isolated showers, if any at all. 49 the high. Looks pretty much the same for tomorrow and Friday, and a dry, nice weekend ahead with highs into the low 50s and mostly sunny by Sunday. It's 33 in Seattle right now.
Bringing you Seattle's morning news since 1974. This is KIRO Newsradio.
And it's time for the 735 commentary. I want to start with something Ronald Reagan said in his 1988 State of the Union address.
In the spirit of Jefferson, let us affirm that in this chamber tonight, there are no Republicans, no Democrats, just Americans. Yes, we will have our differences, but let us always remember, what unites us far outweighs whatever divides us. Those who sent us here to serve them, the millions of Americans watching and listening tonight, expect this of us. Let's prove to them and to ourselves that democracy works even in an election year.
What a standard to set. What a thing to say to a divided room, especially in an election year. Now, here's what we heard last night from President Trump in that same chamber to that same divided room.
These people are crazy. I'm telling you, they're crazy. Amazing. Boy, oh boy. We're lucky we have a country. With people like this, Democrats are destroying our country, but we've stopped it just in the nick of time, didn't we?
With the legislature in session, I've spent a lot of time lately being critical of the Democrats who run the Washington state government in Olympia. That's what watchdogs do. Power deserves scrutiny regardless of which party is holding it. Republicans control the federal government right now, so I need to be just as clear-eyed about what I saw last night. The President of the United States had a chance to speak not to just his supporters, but to all of us last night. And he chose to call the opposition party, roughly half the country, crazy. He set up a standing ovation trap, asking everyone who agreed with him to stand, then turned to the Democrats who stayed seated and told them twice they should be ashamed of themselves. He accused them of cheating in elections. not as a policy disagreement, as a character indictment. I remember watching Reagan do that speech. I remember Clinton up there trying to find common ground with a Republican Congress that wanted him gone. And whatever he thought of those men, they understood that the State of the Union was a moment to reach for something bigger than their base. This was not that. Right now, we're at a relative peace in this country, fractured and angry and exhausted, but at peace. We have the luxury of writing off half the country as crazy or corrupt or beyond saving. But it won't always be that way. Something always happens. September 11th happened. For one brief, painful, clarifying moment, none of that noise mattered. We were just Americans. We didn't ask each other who you voted for or when we held the door, gave blood, or called to check on a stranger. I don't know if we could do that today. It's a fear I carry around with me because the next crisis is coming. And if we've spent years convincing ourselves that the other side isn't just wrong, but evil, isn't just different, but dangerous, I don't know what we do when we actually need each other. And we will. A president standing in that chamber last night had a chance to start pushing us back toward each other, to remind us we're still one country. He couldn't do it.
Those lights along the Potomac are still seen this night, signaling as they have for nearly 2 centuries, and as we pray God they always will, that another generation of Americans has protected and passed on lovingly this place called America, this shining city on a hill, this government of, by, and for the people. Thank you and God bless you.
That America is still here. It's still worth protecting. It's still worth passing on. And that's the 735 commentary for Wednesday, February 25th, 2026. You can always text your thoughts to the Muckleshoot Casino and Resort text line at 888-973-5476. You can also leave a comment at mynorthwest.com.
It's 7:39. Sully, what's coming up in traffic?
Well, we're still looking at about a 20-minute delay getting down through the Marysville area. We'll break it down for you next.
And now a word for the team at Boss Retirement Solutions. It was dark when your alarm went off this morning. You rolled out of bed, grabbed the coffee, hit the road, and you'll probably do it again tomorrow. And you've worked too hard to let retirement get hit with a surprise bill. But here's the bummer. When you retire, 30, maybe 40% of what you've saved could go to taxes. Not to you, not to your family, to the government. But it doesn't have to be that way. If you've saved more than $300,000, there may be tax strategies available to you, the kind people with serious money have used for years. Boss Retirement Solutions in Seattle is offering a free retirement tax savings analysis. No pressure, no obligation, just a clear look at how much of your money you may be able to keep. Call Boss Retirement Solutions at 206-210-1350, 206-210-1350. One more time, 206-210-1350.
For informational purposes only, actual results may vary. No statement contained herein shall constitute tax, legal, or investment advice.
The John Curley Show.
When people sit there and they see people with the American flag and they're utterly disgusted because they associate the flag and USA with Donald Trump, don't do that. You're doing yourself an amazing disservice.
Weekdays 3 to 7.
You could dislike Donald Trump, but you can still love America. It's like discounting Photograph from Nickelback, which is actually a pretty good song. Think of the fact that you love this country, and what you love about it is it's inclusive. Good. Include others.
Watch the John Curley Show live on YouTube.
Hey, it's Jake Skorheim. March is the start of spring, as we all know, and my outdoor to-do list is already growing. Fortunately, Valentine Roofing has my back and yours when it comes to checking off those honey-do list jobs. And with Valentine's huge March promotion, they're not only going to take care of you this year, they have you covered for next year, too. This month only, you can get a free year of roof maintenance when you purchase a new roof. Then you can enjoy seasonal checkups and professional care to keep your new roof looking its best. Plus, they have flexible financing with payments as low as $159 a month. And the Valentine experience, as we all know, seamless communication, meticulous cleanup, and extra mile service. So it's no surprise that Valentine Roofing was voted 2025 Gold Best Roofing Company in the Seattle Times Best in the Pacific Northwest Awards. To take advantage of Valentine's free year of roof maintenance when you purchase a new roof, call 206 Roofing. That's 206 Roofing. And remember, when you see the red Valentine van, you know your home is in good hands.
Xfinity Tech Support, Matthew speaking.
Hi, I live in a pretty remote place, like Jurassic Park remote. go!
Wow.
Will Xfinity Mobile work out here?
Yep, the combination of reliable Wi-Fi and 5G makes it so that you can stay connected in all kinds of places. Plus, you get access to ultra-fast speeds and coverage, whether you're poolside or out live streaming with a T-Rex.
Hold still, you're about to go viral.
Welcome to a new era of Wi-Fi boosted mobile. Cut your mobile bill in half with 2 lines of unlimited. Discover a new era of Wi-Fi boosted mobile at xfinitymobile.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Watch Jurassic Park with Xfinity. Savings comparison based on promotional rate for 2 lines of Xfinity Mobile Unlimited versus 2 lines of T-Mobile Experience More, Verizon Unlimited Plus, and AT&T Starter as of February 10th, 2026.
7:43. Let's check in with Chris Sullivan at the traffic desk.
And once again, the folks up in Snohomish County, primarily from Arlington down through Marysville, are suffering the worst commute today. That's because of a crash that continues to plague the drive right there in the right-hand lane at 529 as you come out of Marysville. Still 35 minutes from Arlington to Everett, a 20-minute delay. What this has done is added a few more customers onto Highway 9 and down 204 and then across the trestle. So if that's your normal commute, you're going to have a few extra people with you. Once you get over to that, it's a pretty normal drive from Everett all the way down into Seattle or Bellevue. Brake lights in the normal places with about an hour and 10-minute trip total. 50 of those minutes are from Linwood, maybe a little bit more now, especially on 405. It's pretty heavy down through the 522 interchange. And for I-5, the brake lights now kind of begin right around 175th. Looking at northbound 405, up to about 40 minutes now. We're definitely seeing heavy braking all the way up past 44th, a little bit into South Bellevue, and both directions of I-90 are slow approaching the 405 interchange there in Factoria. Northbound 167, about 50 minutes from end to end. Federal Way to Seattle, about 50 as well. Northbound 509 still struggling, coming down out of Highline from about 112th all the way up to the First Avenue South Bridge. Eastbound 116, that is, slow past Cheney Stadium, now kind of backing up into UP really a little bit, so plan on a few extra breaks there. And we do have slowing through Nisqually. There are a couple of different cars all being hooked up and being attended to as you work your way up toward Mounts Road. KIRO Newsradio Real-Time Traffic, I'm Chris Sullivan.
And our forecast, just a partly cloudy day. Might see isolated showers, but nothing major. 49 the high for today. Tomorrow and Friday look pretty much the same. By Saturday, though, we're going to dry out. Partly cloudy and 48. Mostly sunny on Sunday and 51. Right now in Seattle, partly cloudy and 33.
Okay, coming up, we'll have more from the President's State of the Union address. We'll hear from Republicans and Democrats. That's on the way here on Seattle's Morning News.
At Uline, they know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather, new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends. Uline works hard keeping 41,000 items ready to ship, minimizing detours on your way to the extra mile. Visit uline.com.
You're losing your hair and you simply need a solution that works. You want the best. Modern technology, top-rated physicians, something that's guaranteed to work. Guys, you need world-class Dr. Perungo and his team at Advanced Hair. Advanced Hair has completely redefined hair restoration. From the experience itself to their unmatched results. Receding hairline, bald spot, thinning hair, maybe all three like I had. Get your hair back with Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment that begins to regrow your own natural hair the very next day. Advanced Hair has changed tens of thousands of lives, including mine. And get this, Advanced Hair is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. For your free consultation, call 425-449-8185. Right now, you'll get $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. Refine your hairline with the team that redefined hair restoration. That's 425-449-8185. Or for the before and afters, visit advancedhair.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
At Guardian Roofing, Gutters, and Insulation, we make protecting your home simple and affordable. With flexible financing and 20-plus years of trusted service, you can count on lasting quality from Guardian. Visit GuardianRoofing.com today.
Seattle's morning news. Hear it live, stream it online, watch the show, or catch the podcast anytime. Seattle's morning news, wherever you are.
Good morning, 7:48 now. Well, President Trump said his State of the Union was going to be long because he had so much to say. Well, he kept his word, setting a record 1 hour, 48 minutes.
President claimed the nation's economy is strong despite polls showing most Americans feel otherwise. CBS News Chief White House correspondent Nancy Cordes with more.
The state of our union is strong.
Speaking to Congress and the country, President Trump argued the first year of his second term was historic.
We ended DEI in America. We gave you no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security for our great seniors. Our country is winning again. In fact, we're winning so much that we really don't know what to do about it.
He hammered that point home by bringing out these winners, the U.S. Olympic men's ice hockey team. The new gold medalists managed to do what most politicians can't, unite a normally divided chamber. But there was still plenty of division, like this moment when Trump sought to put Democrats in a tight spot on immigration.
If you agree with this statement, then stand up and show your support. The first duty of the American government is to protect American citizens, not illegal aliens. You should be ashamed of yourself not standing up.
His move prompted shouting from a small group of Democrats.
Senator Patty Murray says the state of our union is diminished under President Trump. Washington's senior Democrat delivered the response yesterday.
President Trump can try to take credit for the economy he inherited, and he could try to convince people that every problem in America is someone else's fault. But 1 year into his administration, it is very clear that our country is more divided, more chaotic, and less safe.
She argued Trump's policies are crushing families when it comes to health care, education, affordability. She went further, warning the Constitution itself is under attack from this president.
Spokane Congressman Michael Baumgartner says President Trump's State of the Union made clear America is leading with confidence again.
Certainly the highlights were seeing the gold medal winning hockey team, and certainly those Medal of Honor winners that stood forward to protect our nation.
The Republican praised lower crime rates in what he called the most secure southern border since the 70s. Baumgartner also highlighted tax relief passed by House Republicans.
Well, the 735 commentary was on the president's speech.
Yeah, did anyone have anything to say on the text
just
line?
a few on the text line. Listen, my entire point was I think it was a divisive speech, and this is an opportunity once a year we get to bring the country together, and I played a lot of what Ronald Reagan had to say about that. Let's see, Brian in Bellingham says he watched the whole thing. He says it was the Democrats who didn't show any sign of wanting unity, sitting down, not applauding the USA. He says it was shameful for them to do that. Democrats would not stand up for Americans. Trucker Joe from Graham, Americans, Charlie. Dems are for foreign agents. Wow, Charlie, you can have your opinion about division, but what you can't do is butcher Trump's statement. You need to correct what you said about that. You know you intentionally omitted it.
Oh.
All right. Let's see. Come on, Charlie. I see a few of your points, but these Democrats are crazy, unreachable, out of touch, and have lost common sense. They call right wrong and wrong right. Charlie, whether I agree or disagree, I still love listening to your point of view in the morning. USA. Brian also just wrote back.
Wait, there's more.
Yeah, I have TDS, apparently, Trump derangement syndrome. Okay, Cindy in Bothell says, thank you, Charlie, for your commentary. Contrasting Reagan's words with Trump's will hopefully cause some of those who continue to support Trump to pause, to reconsider. In the 253, geez, Charlie, can't you play the whole clip that led him to calling Democrats crazy? By the way, we just did.
Yeah.
Don't just play the soundbite. I'm not going to read Sully's comment. Let's see. And Adam from Bonnie Lake.
Blocked.
Okay. That's nothing new. Half the country that votes Democrats think that the Republicans are wrong and crazy, and the Republicans think that the Democrats are wrong and crazy. How can they not be more people in the middle like me? This is ridiculous that people pick sides, and because someone thinks differently than you automatically hate them. In their opinion, call them out on both sides. Democrats call Republicans crazy all the time as well.
We would love to hear what you think. Just weigh in on the Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line 1-888-973-5476. Look what you've done, Charlie.
I know. I'll have another commentary tomorrow at 7:35. Be sure to tune in.
Okay. It's 7:53. Right now we need to get to traffic. We do that every 10 minutes on the 3, Sully.
And to be fair, Charlie, it's not like I wrote anything about your commentary in any real way. To go behind the curtain,
yeah,
I started writing like really crazy things that I knew some negative things, like throwing out all the buzzwords you possibly could to try to just get a laugh. And then I realized my name was attached to the text, and so it was no fun anymore. So now I just write really, really crazy things to make him laugh in the morning. So that's what it is.
And by the way, when I have like something critical of the Democrats, I'll also just get a ton of texts from Sully as well. How dare you do that?
Yeah, exactly. I do it's kind of an internal joke, but I got to change my cell phone number so it doesn't show up as me, so I don't get blocked immediately.
Get a burner phone.
Yeah,
how's traffic, Sully?
Well, who's to say I don't? Maybe I should start using it for that instead of the illegal purposes. Did I just say that out loud? When did I turn into G, Scott?
How's traffic, Sully?
When did I turn into G? Looking at all the Tasmanian traffic devil. The southbound I-5 drive, we are struggling through Marysville in a big way. Trying to give you guys a laugh. It's a struggle. We got a 4.5-mile backup from Arlington all the way down through 529, where we continue to have this crash in the right lane. 40 minutes Arlington to Everett. Then you get down over to Everett, and it's really not that bad of a drive overall till you get to Linwood, and then you see the normal stuff there. We're getting closer to an hour from Linwood to Seattle or Linwood to Bellevue. Northbound 5, about an hour now from Federal Way to Seattle, still braking through the Kent Des Moines Road and at the north end. Valley Freeway, 55 minutes as well. Really heavy at the north end, and then Renton to Bellevue, about 40. Across the lake, no problem. Still seeing about a 10-minute delay getting up through Nisqually. Have a couple of cars tangled up over on the right-hand side as you get up towards Mounts Road. KIRO News Radio Real-Time Traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
Oh, wait, one more.
702 says, Charlie, your comments were horrible, and you are an illegal immigrant-loving Democrat. Show some patriotism. Love your country.
Okay. Isolated showers for the day. Partly cloudy. 49. Again, you can always weigh in at 1-888-973-5476.
That was my burner phone.
All right. Right now, partly cloudy and 33 in Seattle.
Coming up, we'll have more of the day's top stories from CBS News and local headlines right here on KIRO News Radio.
KIRO News Radio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
Seattle's new mayor is laying out a big vision.
She offered few specifics.
Engaging conversation.
Has anybody noticed their electric bill? It's diabolical, Ursula.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
They are bringing the Lombardi back to the Northwest.
Streaming everywhere on the KIRO News Radio app. Always here, always with you. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
This might be the most surprising statistic I've shared in decades of doing local news. More than 75% of commuters will be involved in a car accident at some point. JP Pendergast of Pendergast Law with more.
What makes it more surprising? The average person will be involved in 3 to 4 collisions in their lifetime.
With accidents unbelievably prevalent, what are some safety tips if it happens to you?
Safety first. Secondary collisions are not uncommon while awaiting help. Turn on those hazards and remain in a safe place. If a bystander witnessed the accident, capture their information and encourage them to remain at the scene. Seek medical attention immediately if needed, as delaying can be a costly mistake. Lastly, remember that statements made to police and insurance adjusters can affect your case.
Collisions are more common than we'd like to think. If you find yourself in one, follow these helpful tips and then call my friends at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one's injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
PendergastLaw.com.
Hey, it's Doctors King and Copstein from K2 Vision. If you're at the stage where you need readers, whether you've had LASIK or not, it may be time to consider K2 Vision RLE. I tell my King LASIK patients, laser vision correction won't solve the eventual need for reading glasses due to an aging, dysfunctional lens.
But K2 Vision RLE will. It's not a question of if your lens becomes dysfunctional, it's when. At that point, you'll need reading glasses and could benefit from refractive lens exchange. K2 Vision RLE is a quick, painless procedure that restores distance and near vision permanently. In other words, no glasses, no contacts, and no readers.
And no cataracts.
Exactly. After K2 Vision RLE, you will never develop a cataract.
K2 Vision doctors have performed over 150,000 procedures and followed the outcomes. They have the experience to know when it's your right time for RLE. Schedule your free Zoom consult today at k2visionrle.com. K2 Vision RLE. No readers, glasses, contacts, or cataracts.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
Imagine finding your dream home and moving in right away. No waiting to sell your old place first. Sounds perfect, right? That's exactly what Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program lets you do. Buy your new home now and sell the old one later. Here's how it works. Orchard gives you cash so you can buy and move into your new home first on your timeline. No waiting, no showings, no double moves. Then the Orchard experts take it from there. They handle repairs on your old home for you so you attract the right buyers. Once they're done, a local Orchard agent lists and sells your home for top dollar. Orchard's Move First program gives you the freedom to buy and move into your new home first and sell your old home later. Buy before you sell and get top dollar for your home with Orchard. Ready to find out how much your home is worth? Visit Orchard.com to get your free home valuation. That's Orchard.com.
Hartley here from Wilcox Family Farms. I'm so excited to have my cousin Amelia with me today. So, how many chickens do you think there are on the farm?
3,000?
What do you think chickens eat?
Grass.
What else?
Seed.
So, do you know what organic eggs are?
The ones that you put in brownies?
Yes, the ones you put in brownies.
We hope you choose fresh eggs from our family farm.
Wilcox Family Farms eggs, locally fresh
since 1909.
Your VA loan and reverse mortgage experts for 34 years. Best Mortgage is proud to be the longest-running mortgage company on KIRO Radio. Get a no-pressure consultation from a real person, never an AI bot. Web search Best Mortgage for honest advice you can trust.
We're the home of your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
They are bringing the Lombardi back to the Northwest.
KIRO FM and HD1 Tacoma, Seattle.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Peter King. The markets are in positive territory. The Dow up 113 points. The morning after President Trump took credit for what he calls a roaring economy during last night's State of the Union address.
The Dow Jones broke 50,000 4 years ahead of schedule.
So who was listening and who was swayed by his words? CBS's Major Garrett.
Our polling team has some fascinating numbers last night. It found that 27% of the likely audience that was going to watch this characterized themselves as independents. 58% Republicans, 18% Democrats. So maybe just less than a third of the look-in audience was going to be self-identified independents. Then, quite interestingly, our polling team asked the entire pool of our surveys, how many of you think the president might change your mind? 27%, exactly the same number as independents.
Iran denies Trump's claim that it's building up for a nuclear threat to the U.S. In Tel Aviv, CBS's Charlie Daggett says the U.S. government spy agency is looking for inside information there.
Protests have started up again, and on the social media platform X, the CIA is actually posting messages in Farsi urging demonstrators to contact the agency and how to do so safely.
President Trump reportedly wants to use banking information to root out migrants in this country illegally. Here's CBS's Christopher Cruz.
The Wall Street Journal reports the president may sign an executive order that would require banks to collect documents from both new and current customers who want to maintain a bank account in the U.S. The Journal reports the proposal is being reviewed by the Treasury Department. Banks are concerned about the plan and question whether they have the right to collect information about their customers' citizenship status.
3 weeks and 4 days after she disappeared, there's still no sign of 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie. CBS's Jonathan Vigliotti is in Tucson.
DNA recovered from Guthrie's home may not yield a usable profile of the suspect, according to sources close to the investigation, one calling it, quote, low level.
What does low level in that context say to you? Very difficult to work with.
She was the youngest star of a classic TV sitcom.
Lauren Chapin in Father Knows Best.
The baby of TV's Anderson family was affectionately known as Kitten.
Oh, hi, Daddy. Wow, hello there.
Lauren Chapin with Robert Young. Chapin's son says his mother has died after a battle with cancer. After leaving Father Knows Best, Lauren Chapin struggled with substance issues and said her real-life father molested her as a child. She acted off and on in adult life and also managed other artists. Lauren Chapin was 80. This is CBS News.
It's one of the most successful law and justice programs in television history that continues to uncover the truth. 48 Hours, Saturday on CBS and streaming on Paramount+.
8:03. Let's check in with Sully for traffic on the 3s.
And we are starting the hour with a brand new crash. Fresh one, southbound I-5 right at the Alderwood Mall in the HOV lane. And we are definitely seeing some backup now going through the Linwood split because of this. So plan on a little extra delay there. If this sticks around too long, this could have a significant impact. Right now, it's only about an hour and 20 minutes from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue with an hour from Linwood, but that could be, we could see an addition there. Looking at southbound of I-5 through Marysville, we have finally cleared the crash at 529, and so the backup is getting better. It's now kind of centered right along Tulalip. By the time you're past 88, it starts thinning out. Have about a 30-minute trip from Arlington to Everett, which is still plus 15. Looking at northbound I-5, really struggling past the middle of Boeing Field on up into downtown. We've got ourselves about an hour drive from Federal Way to Seattle. 509 northbound also very slow today because of the lack of lanes across the First Avenue South Bridge. 50 plus from Puyallup to Renton. Renton to Bellevue's about 35. Lake bridges are still good, and Pierce County in general is trying to thin out. It's just going to take a little bit longer. And down in the Nisqually Basin, we continue to struggle down out of Lacey and then up the hill to Mounts Road. A little bit of action there on the right shoulder. This report brought to you by KIRO Newsradio's app. Text the text app, that is APP, to 888-973-5476. Download the KIRO News Radio app. Listen to your favorite shows right to your phone.
8:04 on the Wednesday, February 25th, 2026 edition of Seattle's Morning News. I'm Charlie Harger with Manda Factor.
5 people dead in the normally peaceful waterfront community of Purdy on the Key Peninsula after what authorities described as a domestic dispute that spiraled into deadly violence.
KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey is here with more on the details that continue to unfold this morning.
Yeah, sad story developing in Purdy this morning. Police say this started with a series of 911 calls yesterday morning. Here's Tacoma Police spokesperson Shelby Boyd.
The initial call came out at 8:41 this morning, stating that there was a violation of an order. At 9:30, additional information came in about stabbing taking place, and at 9:33 is when shots fired was called out by the deputy.
Boyd says when Pierce County deputies got there to the scene, one deputy ended up shooting and killing the suspect. Then they found the bodies of the 4 victims. Police say they were all stabbed.
There are 3 victims that were deceased on scene. 1 victim was transported to a local hospital and was pronounced later. And then the suspect was shot by the deputy.
The Seattle Times reports a 52-year-old woman and a 32-year-old son are listed as residents at the home where all of this happened. Investigators, however, won't confirm the son is the same 32-year-old who was the suspect. According to the Times, the son had a mental health disorder and the mother struggled with his health issues and delusions. She said in a protection order, her son once pushed her and said, quote, her grave had already been dug. The deputy who shot the suspect, by the way, is on administrative leave, which is standard, but certainly does seem like a very sad series of events in that area.
Okay, thanks for the update, Luke. Senator Patty Murray says the state of our union is diminished under President Trump. She delivered a response yesterday to his State of the Union speech.
President Trump can try to take credit for the economy he inherited, and he could try to convince people that every problem in America is someone else's fault. But 1 year into his administration, it is very clear that our country is more divided, more chaotic, and less safe.
She had a nearly 20-minute speech delivered online. It joined a chorus of national Democrats pushing back against the president.
And Eastern Washington Congressman Michael Baumgartner is praising the president's address. The Spokane Republican says the nation is safer and more prosperous than it's been in generations.
I think you really delivered a message of how great our nation is and that America can meet any challenge.
Baumgartner pointed to lower violent crime rates and a more secure southern border.
Keeping you informed since 1974. This is the city's longest-running radio news show.
Seattle's Morning News on KIRO Newsradio.
Wow. I don't think I've seen Sully air drum before.
Yeah. He's a man of many talent.
Yeah, totally.
I'm really good at it, too.
Almost as good as your air guitaring.
World's greatest air musician over there.
That's right.
Well, I don't know. It goes... I've seen those guys on the Ocho. Not that good.
You got some high competition over there.
Well, you hear Sully and Nick Cretia talking to each other. Nick is running the board, picking the tunes. Producer David Burbank is here today. And we have Jillian Raftery out in the newsroom, staying on top of all the news coming through the wires.
We've been talking a lot about the State of the Union address from the president. Your commentary sparked a few comments on the text line. We'd love to hear your thoughts, too, at 888-973-5476. That's the Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line.
And coming up this hour of the show, Jerry Cornfield from the Washington State Standard will join the show. He's going to break down what's in the state budget right now and the millionaire's tax. The income tax. Republicans gathered on the state's steps of the state capitol yesterday to protest it, and a lot spoke out during a public hearing surrounding the bill. Jerry gives us some of his insights.
And, of course, G. Scott has a few thoughts on last night's State of the Union. He'll join us a little bit later.
It's 8:08. Lauren Culp, the former Republican candidate for Washington governor, is now a Klickitat County deputy, and he's recovering after fracturing his spine during an arson arrest in Lyle last week. Deputies say a 35-year-old named Kiva Dobson tried to flee and fought with officers before being taken into custody. Dobson is now out on jail. He faces arson and burglary charges.
A woman escaped with her life after an argument with a partner escalated dangerously yesterday. Brooke Pinkston is with Renton Police.
The argument turned physical, where he pointed a gun at her, and during the assault, she stabbed him in the leg, so that's how he got that injury.
The woman ran out. The man barricaded himself inside. SWAT and King County Sheriff's deputies were called in to help. They did get a search warrant to get inside and arrest the man.
A woman is in critical condition after a shooting in Tacoma's South End. It happened early yesterday morning. The News Tribune reports it was around 4 a.m. on South D Street. Police found about 50 shell casings in the road. The woman was inside a home with several other people when she was hit. A Ring camera captured video of 3 people in dark clothing approaching from the street. Each one appeared to fire shots for about 2 seconds. Police say the woman was alert and talking, but considered critical because she had more than one wound.
Gunfire erupted in a Seattle liquor store on Monday.
Seattle police arrested a half-naked man after they say he opened liquor bottles and started drinking from them without paying. Then they say he started taking off his clothes, his shirt, his shoes, his pants. Officers rushed to the store along Rainier Avenue South around 5 p.m. Monday. The 49-year-old man was still in the store. No one got hurt, although a bullet narrowly missed the clerk. Police recovered the gun and booked the man for felony assault. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
Washington State set aside $100 million to hire more police, but that money still hasn't reached a single city or county. The Washington State Standard reports local leaders are frustrated with the slow rollout of the governor's grant program. Washington State ranks dead last in the nation for police staffing per capita. These grants were supposed to help fix that, but so far only 6 police departments have even applied. The first round of applications is open through the end of next month. The Criminal Justice Training Commission says it expects to decide on awards within weeks of that deadline.
Amazon is leaving another Seattle building. Here's KIRO News Radio's Jillian Raftery.
It's a 251,000 square foot building on Terry Avenue, right near the Denny Triangle headquarters. Amazon confirmed the move on Tuesday to the Puget Sound Business Journal. The company wouldn't say how many workers were affected, but that those employees will relocate to other offices by May. It's the latest sign of Amazon shrinking its Seattle footprint while expanding on the east side. Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
Bill establishing Washington's first regulations on automated license plate readers passed out of committee. The measure would require agencies to delete most license plate data within 21 days. This is State Representative Osman Salahuddin.
It's really important to implement robust guardrails to ensure that Washington doesn't become a surveillance state or risk data sharing to those that could misuse the data.
The bill now moves to the House floor. The Senate has already passed the bill with bipartisan support.
It's 8:12. That's time for a check on the weather. And for that, we rely on KIRO 7 TV's Nick Allard.
Little fog in the South Sound this morning with chilly conditions in the low 30s, so that could slow things down. May have to scrape your windshield. And then we have a little bit of shower activity, say, around Snohomish County north, and you'll just keep a few showers there today. And everybody in between, you got a mix of clouds and sun, at least partly cloudy, a nice day with highs in the upper 40s and lower 50s. It's an honest repeat tomorrow and Friday. Just a little blustery today, tomorrow. And all your moisture is focused over the North Cascades, so that's good news for, say, Stevens, 3 to 6 inches through Friday, and about a foot for Baker as well. And then this weekend, cold in the morning, yes, maybe a little fog, but we see sunshine and upper 40s and lower 50s, and even low to mid 50s Monday, Tuesday before the rain comes back in for Wednesday. Tuesday's high with sun could be 55.
Right now in Seattle, partly cloudy and 34.
8:13 now. We check traffic on the threes with Chris Sullivan.
And it was really quick work to get rid of this stall blocking southbound I-5's HOV lane right at 196 there at the Alderwood Mall. So things have returned to normal and nothing really materialized around that, which is really good because it's already an hour from Linwood to Seattle. Linwood to Bellevue is also about an hour as well. Hour and 20 all the way from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue. Just the typical brake lights there for what you guys drive every day. Seen with the lane configuration. A little bit further to the north now that we've cleared the crash in Marysville, southbound I-5, trying to get back under a half an hour from Arlington to Everett. Not quite there yet, but about a 12-minute delay for you guys. Coming the other direction, still about a 5 to 8-minute delay coming out of Lacey, working your way up towards DuPont because of a crash and a couple of cars over on the right-hand shoulder right as you get to Mounts Road. 45 minutes up to Tacoma. And then Federal Way isn't too bad, and the North End Drive is starting to see some breaks in it here and there. Overall, about an hour from Federal Way to Seattle with 35 of those minutes from South Center. Northbound at 509 struggling into the First Avenue South Bridge because of the lane restrictions there. Northbound 405, the Renton S-curves are active, kind of meandering up towards the VMAC, and then heavy at I-90 in Factoria. But then petering out as you head towards Southeast 8th. Still about 35 minutes, Renton to Bellevue. Behind that, 50 minutes, 55 maybe, from Puyallup to Renton, depending on how you hit it at the north end. The Lake Bridges, though, are in great shape. This report brought to you by Bucky's Complete Auto Care. For 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has earned local trust with honest pricing, guaranteed repairs, and that's why they're Carfax preferred. No gimmicks, just great service. Bucky's.com.
For more than 50 years, the voice Seattle trusts. This is Seattle's Morning News on KIRO News Radio.
It is 8:15. It's been quite the week in Olympia. State lawmakers in the Senate and House both releasing their supplemental budgets. And Democrats say there will be a massive revenue boost for the budget from the millionaire's tax.
Income tax.
I knew you were going to do that.
15 days left in this truncated legislative session. Today, another cutoff day in the legislature. So let's get an update with Jerry Cornfield from the Washington State Standard. Good morning, Jerry. Let's start with the budget.
Good morning.
Some really big budget numbers here. What stands out to you?
Oh, boy. I mean, I think what stands out is that they're all using the same pieces of the budget puzzle. They're just assembling them in a different way, which is a good sign for, getting done on time and reaching agreement. Yesterday, Democratic leaders talked about how they're working collaboratively so that, what they're really going to be doing in these next couple of weeks is when they get in the room together, they have charts and they basically have the same line items, but just different numbers in them. And it becomes pretty easy to say, the House says we're going to spend $200 million on this, and the Senate says $300 million on the same thing, they can then find a middle ground. Where it's become difficult in the past is where they're just totally different approaches, top to bottom, and then they have a lot more work to do.
Where do we find most of the spending, Jerry?
There's those two things that they spend it on. One is what's known as maintenance level, which is sort of from a family standpoint. It's like, the costs go up every month, right? They got your regular bills that go up. They know there are more people demanding public services, and they expect that to continue to increase over the next 18 months. They know there's more cost for education, for incarceration. So that's one big chunk. They just have to write in it. They just have to cover the ongoing costs. And then for the new stuff, there are things. The biggest one is what's known as the tort liability. The state has lost a lot of lawsuits over the years. The Senate's, and the number is close to $1 billion is what they're expecting to pay over the next couple of years. So the Senate puts $1 billion in there, and the House gets to the same number, but they spread it out a little bit over time. So if there is a single item that eats up most of the new money and new spending, it would be there.
Let's talk about the rainy day fund, because apparently a lot of money is coming from that. What is the rainy day fund, and how are we spending this money?
Okay, so the rainy day fund is going just basically into the main cash account. These are the reserves that literally, like the name rainy day says, hey, we got an emergency here. We have an economic emergency. Maybe we have a flood emergency. We have something. We're going to go in and use that. And there's a law that says every year they have to put money in there so it'll grow. And it was over $2 billion now with this budget. I think they each want to take out around $700 million to make ends meet. Now, you never have to take it all out. You put that number down, and then as the budget year goes along, they can move it and they can move it back. And it always looks good to move it back. So at the end of the budget, that number's large again. It's the ending fund balance, which is like what's in your wallet. And they spend it down. And, 2 fiscal years from now, the Senate budget basically says we don't have any in our budget, in our bank account. We're going to have to go to our reserves.
Are there strict guardrails on how that money can be spent?
On the rainy day fund, it's kind of strict. I mean, you need a supermajority in any regular year, but they've created caveats over time. Like if the economy is really slow, no employment growth, they can do it with a simple majority. And that's kind of where we're at right now. That one of those triggers where there's no one getting hired around the state, then the majority party with a simple majority can take money out.
Jerry, let's go to my favorite topic, which, of course, is transportation. I spent a lot of time talking about the supplemental budgets there for both the House, Senate, and, of course, what the governor wants. You talked about how the capital budgets and the main budgets, operating budgets, they're just playing with numbers. Here in Transpo, it looks like they're really divided on how they want to fund it. Senate and the governor wants to bond against the gas tax. House doesn't want to do that. So how do you see this playing out?
Well, the House has been they've been resistant to just bonding every time the budget comes around. If I had to make a prediction, I think they will agree to a bond because the Senate version is smaller than the governor's. It's about $1 billion. And one of the things they did last year when they raised the gas tax is they did not go and bond any of that gas tax. So there is some capacity there. They also have from previous gas tax increases, they haven't used up all of what, the ability to bond every last nickel from those prior gas tax. So there's some money. The other thing is these numbers are talking about, I think the Senate is a $1 billion, or altogether it's probably closer to $1.5 billion. That's over 6 years. So they'll start bond what they need now, bond again in a couple of years if they need some more to carry out their goals over the next 6 years. The governor had a 10-year plan, but he used up all of the money, all of the bonding capacity right away. So they've already dropped his idea for bonding for new ferries. They just set that aside. So they were going to focus on preservation, bridges, and paying for the project cost increases from inflation. They're close to $500 million from previous, from projects that are underway, and there's not money to pay for it all.
Jerry, I'm terrible with branding. I still call X, Twitter. I call SEA, SeaTac Airport, and I call the millionaire's tax an income tax. There has been some back and forth. Where do things stand right now in the debate?
Well, first off, you can continue to call it the income tax because it's written as an income tax statewide, and then they add in the part about only these folks making this make it. So you're good with the income tax. Where it stands right now is it is headed to the finish line. Friday, the House Committee, the House Finance Committee, they're going to vote it out of committee. It's going to look different than what the Senate passed. It'll come to the House floor. There'll be some more tweaking, and they're focusing on how to spend the money already. And then the goal is to have the Senate agree with whatever the House does in the next week or so, and then send it to the governor. So that's where it stands procedurally. I think the majority party anticipated going to court. I think they're more confident the courts will uphold this. I think the majority party and the Democrats are very concerned quietly about if it gets to the ballot, this will be a difficult issue to win at the ballot. I think that's why there's language in there that prevents a referendum, which would be the quickest way and maybe the easiest way for voters to overturn it. Now it's going to take more effort and time.
Jerry, we mentioned today's another cutoff day. Is there anything that is significant that you think will move on?
That will move on. I thought you were going to ask me what didn't make it. There were a couple of big things that didn't make it.
Either way, let's go with dying.
Pass on.
Like I said, I mentioned earlier tort liability. My colleague, who Jay Goldstein Street, reported that yesterday. They said a big change in how they approach some of these claims. That legislation isn't going forward. The hope was if it did, it would reduce the long-term cost to the state. And then the blood alcohol content, the drunk driving law, another attempt to lower it from 0.08 to 0.05. It failed in the House committee yesterday. It didn't come up for a vote, so it's dead. Interestingly, that same committee passed a similar bill in January. So something changed amongst the Democrats in the last month. Otherwise, I think pretty much all the major bills that you've been talking about and thinking about, they're advancing. They should get out pretty easily because most of them have a cost, so they can be tied to the budget and kept alive in some form.
Jerry, next week at this time when we're talking, it'll be 8 days left in the legislative session. You probably will have all your bags packed for that big beach in Hawaii. So I'm looking forward to our conversation because we're really going to have a great idea of what's going to stick around, what's going to be law, and what won't be.
Oh, well, we might, but all the big money bills we might, the tax bills we might not. I may need Chris to kind of provide a traffic report for legislation.
I can get that.
What's moving, where it's clogged up.
I'll see what I can do for you, Jerry.
Jerry Cornfield with the Washington State Standard. Thanks for joining us. Let's check traffic now, Chris.
Yeah, I like that. You can tie traffic to just about anything. See what we could do. I could use a little help from my KIRO drivers. If you're heading eastbound on 520, heading up into the Medina area, I'm seeing a really solid line there. I'm not sure if it's related to sun glare or not, but I haven't found any crashes on the cams. But you're definitely seeing brake lights across the lake there. I-90 also seeing a little slowing, but in the westbound direction, but really manageable if you're trying to go from Bellevue to Seattle, the primary commuting route. Coming down from the north end, we're definitely seeing vast improvements through Marysville. Still have about a 20-minute delay from Arlington to Everett, so a couple of minutes behind. But now that long-term crash is out of the way, still have hour drives from from Linwood to Seattle or Linwood to Bellevue. Valley Freeway clearing out nicely till you get up to the north end, but it's still about a 50-minute trip. Rented to Bellevue about 40. Federal Way to Seattle's back under 50, and we're still seeing the slowing heading up towards the First Avenue South Bridge. This report brought to you by Lake Washington Windows and Doors. It's home show season, and Lake Washington Windows and Doors giving you 20% off plus 12 months, same as cash financing. Visit them at the home shows or at lakewashingtonwindows.com.
KIRO News Radio is right there with you.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us.
On your smart speaker before you head out the door.
We continue to be in recovery mode on northbound I-5.
Watch live on YouTube or the KIRO Newsradio app.
Newfangled idea of having to see the people while they're talking.
The office, the gym, wherever you are.
Get on the YouTube channel. The whole gang's there.
KIRO News Radio. 97.3 FM. Powered by MyNorthwest.com.
Hey everyone, Hartley Wilcox here. And I'm Charlie Wilcox from Wilcox Family Farms. Our family's been raising hens and gathering fresh eggs right here for over 100 years.
That's right. Our hens roam free on green pastures, soaking up the sunshine and living their best chicken lives.
We don't do shortcuts. No cages, no chemicals, just honest-to-goodness eggs laid fresh every day.
And when you buy Wilcox eggs, you're not just getting breakfast. You're supporting local farmers like us. Clean food, and a family that's been doing it right for generations.
So next time you're at the grocery store,
skip the out-of-state eggs and grab the ones with our name on them.
Wilcox Family Farms. Fresh, local, trusted. Find fresh Wilcox eggs at Costco, Hagen's, or Whole Foods. And for a healthy snack on the go, grab some ready-to-eat hard-boiled eggs in a convenient to-go 2-pack. Wilcox Family Farms eggs, locally fresh since 1909.
You're still grooving, still connecting, still loving, still turning up, still thriving. You still got it, but your immune system, it weakens as you age. That's where vaccines come in. They help train and strengthen your immune response to fight off respiratory illnesses like flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, or COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Book in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Jackson Hewitt knows taxes are complicated, and with multiple jobs and tax forms, they're like Sonata complicated. Our no surprise pricing keeps things simple. Jackson Hewitt does your taxes for only $149 or less. And since we know all the new tax codes, you could get thousands back. So what are you waiting for? Hurry. File with Jackson Hewitt today for only $149 or less, guaranteed. Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids.
Call 877-CARS-4-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now or go to carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Why does it matter to members that Aetna was named a Best Medicare Advantage company by U.S. News & World Report? Because they chose a plan that gives them real support, real people, and real care. We show up with care management that ensures doctors work together on complicated conditions. We show up with the latest in online tools to make healthcare easier to use anytime. We don't show up for awards. We show up for you. And showing up for you is how healthier happens together.
The stock market was on fire in 2025 due to AI and tech stocks. Now is the time to set a strategy for 2026. It's a good opportunity to lock in those gains and invest into a stable platform. With $8 trillion in cash sitting on the sidelines, investors are either scared or unsure where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rurecka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with zero investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Couponing. Wow, you didn't strike me as the coupon type.
Just trying to stay ahead of inflation. Gas, groceries, everything. It's all more expensive. I need to save wherever I can.
Have you tried Upside yet?
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app that I use that pays cash back for every gallon of gas I buy. You've got to buy gas to get around anyway. Might as well get paid for it.
Come on, does that really add up to anything?
I've already made around $200. The extra cash helped pay down my bills, and I even had a little extra left to treat myself.
And the Upside app is free?
Totally free, and the cash back is real. You can transfer the cash right to your bank account.
I'm downloading Upside right now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code BOOST to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code BOOST for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code BOOST for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Albert Lee Appliance Clearance Center, opening soon in Kent, on the corner of 212th and West Valley Highway.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Good morning. It is 8:31. Developing this morning, Microsoft co-founder Bill Gates is apologizing for his affairs with two Russian women while married to his now ex-wife, Melinda French Gates.
He's also apologized for his connections to convicted pedophile Jeffrey Epstein. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey here with the details.
Yeah, the Gates Foundation emailed us a statement just this morning. A spokesperson tells me Gates was answering questions from staff during a town hall meeting at the Gates Foundation when he made those bombshell remarks. Gates also spoke candidly and took responsibility for his actions, that spokesperson told me. The remarks took on a slightly different tone, however, than Gates on PBS NewsHour some 4 years ago.
I had dinners with him. I regret doing that.
Is there a lesson for you, for anyone else looking at this?
Well, he's dead, so in general, you always have to be careful.
The Wall Street Journal is reporting Gates said he spent time with Epstein in the U.S. and overseas in Germany and France after Epstein was convicted in 2008. Gates also said they flew on Epstein's private jet, but never met Epstein's victims or visited his private island. Gates also said he did nothing illicit and saw nothing illicit. The same year the connection between Gates and Epstein was made public, Melinda French Gates filed for divorce. About a month ago, she said this on NPR.
So whatever questions remain there of what I can't even begin to know all of it, those questions are for those people and for even my ex-husband. They need to answer to those things, not me.
During the town hall, the Journal reports Gates acknowledged his former wife had long been skeptical of the relationship with Epstein. He also said his mistakes cast a cloud over the Gates Foundation.
Thanks for the update, Luke. 5 people are dead in the Key Peninsula town of Purdy after what appears to be a domestic dispute.
That led to an officer-involved shooting. The suspect is among the dead, and we get the update from KIRO News Radio's James Lynch.
This all started when dispatchers got a call for a protection order violation. Then came another 911 call for someone being stabbed. Pierce County deputies arrived, and in whatever followed, deputies shot and killed the suspect. Tacoma PD's Shelby Boyd with the sequence of the morning's events.
The initial call came out at 8:41 this morning, stating that there was a violation of an order. At 9:30, additional information came in about stabbing taking place, and at 9:33 is when shots fired was called out by the deputy.
The Pierce County Force Investigation Team is now on scene. They are working now to figure out exactly what happened here. In Purdy, James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Time to check traffic. Here is Chris Sullivan.
And we've pretty much buttoned up all the slowing on southbound I-5 getting through Marysville. So we're back to normal there. And the rest of the map is trying to calm down. We just haven't gotten there yet. We have picked up about 10 minutes, though, on southbound I-5. It's back down to about 50 minutes out of Linwood and an hour and 10 out of the Everett area. 405 still heavier. It's still an hour from Linwood on down, so about a 10-minute disparity there. We've also picked up about 10 minutes on northbound I-5. Federal Way to Seattle's only 50 minutes, though 35 of those minutes are still from the downtown, into downtown from South Center. Behind that, though, not too bad. Valley Freeway also clearing out from south to north. Still have brake lights from 180th on in, but we're under 50 minutes. Rented to Bellevue, still struggling through the S-curves, and then not too bad the rest of the way. 35 minutes to make that trip. Still looking for something on eastbound 520 to explain why we're backed up all the way from Montlake all the way to basically the east high-rise. You're losing about 15 minutes going across the lake in the eastbound direction. They're still looking for some help from my KIRO texters, and we're still losing about 10 minutes on northbound I-5 getting through Lacey up to Mounts Road because of a crash over on the right shoulder. This report brought to you by Seattle Sports. Search Seattle Sports on YouTube. Click subscribe. Get fresh video content daily.
Our forecast, you'll see some peaks of sunshine for today, just isolated showers, and it looks like the same forecast for Thursday and Friday as well. Highs around 50. The weekend looks beautiful. Partly cloudy Saturday. By Sunday, mostly sunny and 51. Right now in Seattle, partly cloudy and 34.
Hear it live. Stream it online. Watch the show or catch the podcast anytime.
Seattle's Morning News, wherever you are.
The attorneys general in several Democratic-leaning states are sounding the alarm ahead of the 2026 midterms. They're worried the Trump administration could interfere with the election process.
So let's get details from former Washington Attorney General Rob McKenna, a Republican. Rob, what state attorneys general are involved here?
Well, there are 6 Democratic state AGs who are involved, and they include our own Attorney General Nick Brown of Washington State, as well as Attorney General Rob Bonta of California and others. These AGs, who I just attended a conference with last week, are spending a lot of time thinking about these issues. 19 Democratic AGs have already banded together and sued the Trump administration. This was last spring over his executive order targeting voting rules. Those rules have mostly been blocked by courts since then. And they've been pushing back when the administration has taken steps like dispatching election monitors to polling locations in New Jersey and California, which they did last fall. Attorney General Bonta in California deployed his own observers in his state in response. So it's move and counter move, and we can talk about why this is happening, but the Democratic AGs have said in public interviews and have said at the meetings I've attended, they're very concerned about potential administration interference in their state's elections.
Are there specific indicators that concern them?
Well, there's lots. Here's a juicy one. Homeland's, I'm quoting now from an article I read, Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem raised alarms among Democrats when she said her department is working to ensure, quote, that we have the right people voting, electing the right leaders, close quote. She's the head of the Department of Homeland Security, and she's saying that. It's very concerning.
So these are largely Democratic AGs who are sounding this alarm. What's your take as a Republican, Rob?
Well, they are largely Democratic AGs, but I'd point out that the administration is also trying to get a hold of voter information, including personally identifying information from states with Republican secretaries of state who oversee elections in Pennsylvania and New Hampshire. So this is not not a problem limited to Democratic states, but the administration does, appear to be and actually is targeting states that tend to be blue or swing states like Pennsylvania, blue states like California, like Washington. And so what this indicates is that the administration is going to revive claims about illegal aliens voting, reviving claims about fraud and mail-in voting in order to create a narrative that the midterm elections this fall, in which the U.S. House of Representatives and the U.S. Senate will be at stake, that those midterms are not to be trusted, especially if they don't, only if they don't go Trump's way. If they go his way, of course, everything is fine.
Last night during the State of the Union, the president pushed for lawmakers to pass the Save America Act. Can you explain what that is? Well,
the Save America Act is attempting to put more restrictions in, on voting rules. This is part of the effort to, as the Democrats see it, nationalize. Actually, as Trump has said, nationalize, local and state elections, and of course, under the Constitution, states have control over how elections are operated. It's always been that way. It decentralizes that election process. And so they're this act is attempting to create national rules like a Uniform Voter ID Act. So you'd have to show voter ID to go vote at the polls. So it's an attempt to put in place nationally measures which some Republicans have attempted to enact at a state level, but to do it through Congress.
That's former State Attorney General Rob McKenna. Rob joins us every Wednesday.
Yeah, it's 8:39. Sully, what's coming up in traffic?
Well, we got a 3-mile backup getting across the 520 bridge in the eastbound direction. Looking for something there. We'll break it down for you next.
The John Curley Show.
When people sit there and they see people with the American flag and they're utterly disgusted because they associate the flag and USA with Donald Trump, don't do that. You're doing yourself an amazing disservice.
Weekdays 3 to 7.
You could dislike Donald Trump, but you can still love America. It's like discounting Photograph from Nickelback, which is actually a pretty good song. Think of the fact that you love this country, and what you love about it is it's inclusive. Good. Include others.
Watch the John Curley Show live on YouTube.
Remember that time we were driving through France and for some reason we didn't have GPS?
Oh, for some reason? That reason would be that you didn't plug your phone in because you didn't have a charger.
Yeah, because I let you borrow my phone so you could call your mother, and you're on the phone for like 30 minutes telling her where we are. But that aside, we didn't know where we were going. We did fight a little bit because we didn't know where we were going. I think that Longevity Medical Clinic is like the GPS for us. They tell us which turns to make. They tell us which directions to go, right?
They do. And now I feel like the two of us together have a clear path and we have more control over our own health care.
Right, exactly. So you don't have to get out of the car and try to find information somewhere. It's all right there. As you're aging, all the little sort of turns you have to make in order to be able to have lots of energy and to enjoy your life. So for as far as I'm concerned, Longevity Medical Clinic is our GPS. Do what Nick and I have done. Take a free health analysis at lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
If your home is 20 years old or more, it might be time to have your roof checked. Your roof is your home's first line of defense, and at Guardian, we help it last as long as possible. That's why every new install comes protected with a full year of free maintenance on us. Visit us at guardianroofing.com.
A lot of businesses are looking ahead for guidance and the right partners in the new year, and the right bank can make a difference, right, Brad?
That's right, Dave. And WaFd Bank can help with business checking, express loans, lines of credit, business credit cards, and so much more. WaFd Bank is also an SBA preferred lender, so you can grow with confidence.
What about when you need help with something? In this digital age, does WaFd have an actual person available?
Absolutely. Our friendly and knowledgeable local business bankers are ready and waiting to help you with whatever your business might need. From day one, our bankers get to know you and your business to build a strong foundation for future success. This especially helps when it's time to apply for loans and to spot gaps in your business operations so we can recommend the service that would be most helpful.
And to learn more, visit wafedbank.com or visit your local branch. Discover why they were awarded Best Bank multiple years in a row by numerous financial publications. WaFd Bank, built for business. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Loan subject to credit approval. Non-sufficient funds charges may apply.
Thanks for calling CM Heating.
Aren't you the company that gives away free furnaces?
That's us. Buy a qualifying high-efficiency cooling system and the furnace is free.
Wow.
Yeah, and our home comfort advisors are tax credit and rebate specialists, so they'll handle the rebate for you.
Go to CM Heating for better comfort, lower bills, and a free furnace you'll love for years. Get your free estimate for furnace replacement at cmheating.com. And remember, for furnaces, fireplaces, hot water, and total home comfort, including electrical,
there's no beating CM Heating.
8:43 now. Chris Sullivan is watching traffic on the threes.
And as near as I can tell, it's sun glare. Is the only reason for a 15-minute delay getting across Lake Washington on eastbound 520. That's all I can find. Can't find anything because it goes away once you get up to the Medina on the east high-rise, but extends all the way back to UW. It's going to be basically a 28 to 30-minute trip to go from Seattle over to Bellevue. Going the other direction, it's only 20 minutes, so not exactly a good day there. I'm not seeing a similar backer up in the eastbound direction, so still not 100% sure, but sun glare is all I can find so far. Rest of the map trying to calm down. Definitely Pierce County has just a little bit of yellow left on the map there, and Federal Way to Seattle is also thinning out even past the West Seattle Bridge. So we're under 50 minutes from Federal Way to Seattle. Valley Freeway back under 45 now, so that's great. The last mile is going to be a little slow, but nothing you can't handle. And then about 35 minutes for Renton to Bellevue, which is pretty decent. Northbound I-5 still struggling out of the Lacey area up to Mounts Road. That's where we had a crash that's still hanging out over on the right shoulder. 45 minutes from Olympia to Tacoma. Coming down from the north end, kind of a standard day for us. Brake lights away from Linwood on 405, and then from 145th on down on I-5. Going to need about 50 minutes from Linwood to Seattle. Still about an hour from Linwood down into Bellevue. This report brought to you by the KIRO Newsradio App. You can text APP, A-P-P, to 888-973-5476 to download the KIRO Newsradio App. Listen to your favorite shows. Get the latest news and updates sent right to your phone.
Just a partly cloudy day officially. Might see some peaks of sunshine, maybe isolated showers, but nothing threatening today. 49 the high. Tomorrow and Friday look pretty much the same, and the weekends looks lovely. Partly cloudy Saturday, mostly sunny on Sunday. 51, could be into the mid-50s by Monday. Right now it's 34 in Seattle.
All right, get your texting fingers ready. G. Scott has some thoughts on last night's State of the Union address.
Of course he does.
His takeaways are next on Seattle's Morning News.
Hey, Brock Ewart here with my buddy Dave Taylor from First Mark Insurance. You know, Dave, I love sport. You love sport. And I love sitting with coaches and hearing their game plan each and every week. What are the keys to a First Mark Insurance game plan?
It's a great question, Brock. I think there's really 3 keys to a great game plan with us. Number 1 is we want to make sure that our clients have the correct coverage for their unique specific needs. So that's number 1. Do you have the right coverage? Number 2, once we have the right coverage, are we getting that coverage at the most competitive price possible? And then last and not least would be, once we have the right coverage at the most competitive price, are we providing world-class service to those customers so that when they need it, they have someone there that's got their back?
Those are the 3 keys to a First Mark Challenge victory. And man, am I so glad Molly and I took the challenge. We are one of so many through a decade plus of being a First Mark Challenge victory. You can too. Just simply go to firstmarkinsurance.com. Firstmarkinsurance.com.
I'm worried.
About what?
Water.
Oh?
Hot water, if you really want to know.
Water heater worries?
Worried it's wearing down.
Running out?
The hot doesn't last like it used to.
So you're...
worried.
I got a guaranteed fix.
Let me guess. A new water heater.
Right, but...
that's what worries me.
Well, worry no more.
Why?
What you need is an Apollo Plumbing water heater.
Because?
We include Wrenchy's worry-free warranty.
Wrenchy's what?
Worry-free warranty.
Which means?
When it wears out, we replace it.
No extra charge.
As an A-List Club member, you're covered for life.
For life?
For as long as you're an A-List member. You get annual life-extending water heater flushes included.
So it lasts longer.
Right.
And when it needs replacement,
you're covered.
With no worries.
Because it's Wrenchy's
worry-free warranty.
What else would you expect from the Ready Right Now plumbers?
Apollo Plumbing.
Home of Wrenchy's worry-free warranty.
What about tankless ones?
Worry-free too.
Gotta love that Wrenchy.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Our local tax expert and advocate Greg Nunn understands the pressure that comes from owing money to the IRS. Don't let that pressure build. Call Nunn Better Tax Resolution. From stress to success with IRS Solutions. Google NUNN. None Better Tax Resolution.
Hi, I'm Dr. Nia Hergaris with today's tip for kids from the American Academy of Pediatrics. As parents, we want our children to grow up healthy and strong. That means helping teens take responsibility for their health as they become young adults. One way to do that is to make sure they have one-on-one time with their pediatrician. That helps them become comfortable talking about any health issue with their doctors and with you. So make sure to give your teen a voice. It's good for their health. For more on teen health, visit healthychildren.org.
Seattle's morning news. Hear it live. Stream it online. Watch the show or catch the podcast anytime on mynorthwest.com.
Well, there he is from the G and Ursula Show and the Reset Podcast, which has an interview with JSN on it.
That's right. Brand new interview. Jackson Smith and Jacob was on. We talked about potential contract. We talked about who his mentor is on the team. We talked about what he thinks is so special about Mike McDonald. We talked about the potential of this Seahawks team going forward. If you have missed it, you can go to my YouTube, The Reset with G. Scott, or you can go to my Instagram, G. Scott Senior. You can just see the clips going forward.
Nice.
Now, before Amanda kicks me out, what y'all want to talk about?
Oh, I don't know. There's been a little interest, I think, in the State of the Union address. G, did you watch it?
I did. Watched all of it.
What did you think of it?
Okay. So when I was growing up, and my dad would have me, and sometimes my mom, I'd be with my mom too, and we watched the State of the Union. And when I was younger, I didn't really understand it, but I was just, back in those days, you only had one TV in the house, so you had to watch whatever, right? And then as you got older, you started to have a better understanding of the State of the Union. And what I would used to think about the State of the Union, whether it was Ronald Reagan in office, whether it was Bush Sr., Bush Jr., Bill Clinton, Obama, when you're in the State of the Union, that was your time to, sure, you want to be a unifier, but more importantly, I used to think that whoever that president was at the time spent that time talking to, maybe the people that didn't vote for him, right? And that used to be that time. Yesterday, I saw someone that used his political office as the leader of the free world to villainize a lot of America. I saw someone who I don't even think he was talking to MAGA, his base. I think Marjorie Taylor Greene and that MAGA base, I think he's forgotten about them. I saw a man talk to his donor base. He wasn't talking to America. He was talking to his donor base, because the donor base, those who have a lot of money, are doing financially well. Imagine sitting at home, juggling rent, groceries, rising costs at grocery stores, gas prices, which, by the way, he literally lied about the gas prices. And that's what I didn't want to come do today. I did not want to come and fact check that, because what I have learned is it is feelings over facts. Nobody cares about facts. It's all about how you feel. And I got to say, Donald Trump does a great job of reaching out to you and getting to you in your feelings. But all of this, imagine sitting there and then turning on the State of the Union and hearing and being told that everything is great. There's a serious disconnect. Now, going forward, I tried to find something that I can come in here and talk about, like, what was good about what was said. The reason why I can't come away with anything good is because in America right now, the biggest story, including the local connection that just happened with, I heard on you all show, Luke Ducey came in here and talked about Bill Gates talking to his foundation on Tuesday, telling them about the 2 Russian women that allegedly he had probably messed around with. The Epstein story is the biggest story in the country, in the world. In an hour and 47 minutes, the leader of the free world stood there and didn't mention Epstein once. I don't care who you voted for. At one point in time in your life, are you going to say, hey, forget the politics. I want to talk about, I care about the victims of the Epstein files, right? 100% of people did stuff in the Epstein files. 0% of people in the United States, except for Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, have been held accountable for that. So I would love to come here and break down the State of the Union, but it's pretty tough to do that. Now, we're going to go forward. People that you can agree, you can disagree with me, all you want. At the end of the day, no matter what your feelings are, the facts are going to take over, and the facts are going to continue to be, we lost 1 million jobs. 1 million. That's not a feeling. That's a fact. 1 million jobs in this country since Donald Trump has been in office. Donald Trump has the Supreme Court on his side. He has the Department of Justice on his side. He has the House on his side. He has the Senate on his side, and you still lost 1 million jobs. And there's still people in America that are struggling to pay their bills. I want to just say this before I leave. I ain't struggling to pay my damn bills, but there's a lot of people that are, and I will speak for them forever.
So I take it you didn't like the speech.
That's what you call let G cook.
Manda.
Thanks for stopping by. You may be excused, but I'm sure you're going to talk much more about this on your show with Ursula coming up 9 to noon.
That was the best, Charlie. Good Lord.
If you have some thoughts, hit up the text line, 1-888-973-5476.
Okay,
Bye,
Sully. Traffic.
Well, it still looks like a combination of sun glare, but some of my drivers, like Peter, telling me the HOV lane is blocked on eastbound 520 as you get over to the East High Rise, the Medina area. There, give yourself an extra 15 minutes to get across the lake on eastbound 520. That's our only issue on either direction of either bridge. So also looking for a crash on northbound I-5 or something right past the Michigan curve. We kind of gone red there again. I haven't found it on my cameras, but just be prepared. You've got about a 35-minute trip still from South Center. Rented to Bellevue is about 40 minutes, and then coming down from the north end, 50 minutes to an hour to make that drive from Linwood to Seattle or Bellevue. This report brought to you by Wilcox Family Farms. Fresh food comes from local farms. Check the packaging for healthier eggs with 3 times consumes the omega-3s. She uses Wilcox omega-3 eggs, locally fresh since 1909.
Today, tomorrow, and Friday, partly cloudy, just isolated showers and highs around 50. It's 34 in Seattle right now.
You think they'll talk about the State of the Union on G and Ursula?
I think that's a pretty good guess.
You think they'll talk about Bill Gates?
Probably.
All right, stick around. It's Seattle's Morning News.
KIRO Newsradio, where you turn for the news you depend on.
Two competing budget proposals.
Senators want to be aggressive, they say.
Traffic.
We have a stall on westbound 16.
Conversation.
If they pass this thing and Governor Ferguson signs it into law, I think there's going to be a mass political sea change in Washington State.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
They're bringing it home again.
Broadcasting live from the KIRO Newsradio YouTube channel. KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM. KIRO FM and HD1 Tacoma, Seattle.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Go from daydreamer to industry leader with Amazon Business. From office supplies to IT essentials, Amazon Business provides tools that help you save costs and make insight-based decisions. Learn how to bring your visions to life at AmazonBusiness.com.
It's cold outside, and if you're noticing it's taking forever to heat your home, there are cold spots in certain rooms, your furnace turns off and on a lot, or it never stops, or maybe your energy bill is just way too high. These are all warning signs that your home needs a blanket. There may be something wrong with your insulation, which means not only are you uncomfortable in your own home, but you could be wasting hundreds or thousands of dollars a year in lost energy. Call Insulation Northwest today, and we'll send one of our professionals to give you a fast, free energy inspection to determine if there is a problem. And if there is a problem, we can fix it fast. Most jobs are completed in one day. You have nothing to lose. The inspection is free and only takes about an hour and could save you thousands. Keep the heat in, the cold out, and your energy bill low. Call Insulation Northwest today. Insulation Northwest, the real insulation company.
Please ask if you qualify for thousands of dollars of free rebates from your energy company.
InsulationNorthwest.com.
The Jake and Spike Show.
Check it late at night when my wife's not looking.
Weekdays noon to 3.
My favorite thing on my phone, which is my weather app.
First thing?
Yeah, absolutely.
On KIRO News Radio on 97.3 FM and the KIRO Newsradio app.
Thanks for calling CM Heating.
Aren't you the company that gives away free furnaces?
That's us. Buy a qualifying high-efficiency cooling system and the furnace is free.
Wow.
Yeah, and our home comfort advisors are tax credit and rebate specialists, so they'll handle the rebate for you.
Go to CM Heating for better comfort, lower bills, and a free furnace you'll love for years. Get your free estimate for furnace replacement at cmheating.com. And remember, for furnaces, fireplaces, hot water, and total home comfort, including electrical,
There's no beating CM Heating.
When you walked through your kitchen this morning, what'd you see? Did it make you happy? Hi, I'm Chad Cicchini, owner of Heritage Homecraft. Well, I want to make you happy. We'll custom build you all new cabinet doors and drawer fronts, and using our exclusive 1/4-inch solid wood refacing process, transform your existing cabinets into a beautiful new kitchen. Add a custom quartz countertop, change things up a bit, add some more cabinets, install some cool new features like soft close drawers and sliding shelves, whatever you like. We'll help you to create the new kitchen you'll be proud of. All in about a week, and all with way less mess, hassle, time, and expense than to tear out. Stop waiting. For 18 years, we've been honored to serve thousands of happy customers, and we'd love to serve you. Call today and I'll get one of our pros to come out and show you how easy and comfortable it'll be to get going on your new kitchen. Heritage Homecraft, 425-485-1600, 425-485-1600, or heritagehomecraft.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio, KIRO FM and HD1 Tacoma,